Yes, people are wondering why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Yeah, come on. Like, let's be honest. For those who are regularly watching the channel, by now know that I am a cricket fan as well and a huge RCB fan. I know it's a football channel, this one, but I have to wave the flag. I have to wave the flag. What an exciting final! I know, not a final. What do you say? Eliminator. I got overexcited there, but this is what it is, man. We believe in the guy. We believe in the guy, and let me actually welcome, obviously, an Italian football fan, the specialist that I call him, Fateh. Fateh, welcome to the stream. I'm in a
You
different altogether. It's just not Jose Mourinho that you're welcoming, but I think one of my teams which has gotten potentially to just one hurdle away from final. But how you been?
bad. Lost the league title to your AC Milan. It's like, you are just walking in the sun all the time, Ankit. Everything you touch turns to gold. Chelsea Champions League winners, AC Milan Serie A
Oh
winners,
man.
and I'm hoping that you get Roma across the line tonight.
Yeah, hopefully. Like, come on. I was possibly saying the same thing about Fateh last time around, just being the lucky charm for me, and sometimes it's just about, happens, yes. And so, name to year, obviously, got the feel there about the victory. What a nail biting finish that. But again, we have to kind of focus right now because it is about the Conference League and history. His history is going to be made. Either way, I think either way you can say फतेह हिस्ट्री है पहली बार होने वाला है अपना कॉन्फ्रेंस लीग फाइनल. Whoever wins the Conference League final, be it Feyenoord or be it Roma, let's be honest, they will be in the history books no matter what. Right now, we don't look at Conference League like that. Even Europa League, I know a lot of people out there who not really respect. लेकिन वो ये the teams जो है ना fans who have faced that kind of respected a little bit more और वही होने वाला है Conference League के बारे में. Trust me on that because there's so much football. और at the end of the day you just have in a particular league कितने teams जीत सकते हैं maximum दो तीन teams जीत सकते हैं trophies and this gives another opportunity. That's why we celebrate Conference League as well. Just early call, early prediction. People in the chat or Fateh, क्या लगता है आज? Come on, Jose Mourinho. One thing is you want him to win, but do you actually see that Feyenoord team which kind of can defend जो last game में दिखाए थे, and they can score a lot of goals with Dessers up front. So what are you reckoning?
Absolutely. I think Dessers and Sinistra up front, and they have that Iranian Asian connection, Ali Reza, Jahan Baksh on the bench. So, I mean, yeah, they
Yeah,
can, they
yeah.
can, because all the attention, I think, even in the press, has been on Jose Mourinho. Like, we've almost sort of forgotten Feyenoord, and wouldn't it just be a special underdog story if they won it? But no, I still think that Jose Mourinho in a final, like he says, finals are not to play, they are to win. I think he knows how to win them. I think he'll win them.
Yeah. यहाँ पर people again again while I 100% agree with Fateh, I have to take because ये लोग काफी लोग अपने वॉच अलॉन्ग में थे क्रिकेट वाले वॉच अलॉन्ग जो जस्ट मैंने खत्म किया थोड़ी देर पहले और मैंने डिनर के लिए ब्रेक किया उसी दौरान इतने सारे विकेट्स गिर गए ऑपोजिशन के दैट इज द होल पॉइंट. हेलो दादा कैसे हो मस्त हो यार महाकाल भाई यार all the football watchers out there, let's actually like the stream because, like I said, this is a channel for everyone to see, or it means that you all are part of the family. तो लाइक द स्ट्रीम शेयर द स्ट्रीम इफ पॉसिबल जितना हो सके. मैंने शायद इंस्टा में शेयर किया है और गिव फतेह अ फॉलो एज वेल. I have tagged him on Insta on the post, so definitely it'll be great. And we'll have, hopefully, Shrey will be joining as well because it's actually not two. Shrey is also, also a big Jose Mourinho fan. I know that, we have had a lot of moments talking about Jose Mourinho. It's the Chelsea connection, obviously. Many were skeptical when conference was launched by UEFA. But I remember Tottenham हारी थी ना Tottenham हारी थी with a very I forget the name, but as in definitely big up to the team which beat them. लेकिन you know what I mean, right? As in definitely not a team. It was a shock of all. It isn't coming to my mind right now. But anyway, so that
Dutch team,
team when they
Vitesse, I think Vitesse, Dutch team.
नहीं विटेस तो जीती थी एक और दो बार हारे थे दूसरा जो मेजर शॉक था विटेस वाज डेफिनेटली वन. लेकिन सर्टेनली आई थिंक इट इज अबाउट दैट मोमेंट जो लगता है यार जो कप कंपटीशन में शॉक पॉसिबल है. आई रिमेंबर यार अगेन बैक इन द डे जारो कप विनर्स कप हमने बात करा दूसरे स्ट्रीम में भी. Like we remember the day that we won, we beat Real Madrid in the Super Cup, back in the day. Well, it was a huge deal, and that is what Conference League might bring you. Like maybe the clubs जो आप basically not even heard of, like that's why I'm not able to remember the name. Yeah, Mura से आ रही थी. Thank you for
NK
remembering
Mura.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly. तो मूरा ने जो हराया था ना उस पॉइंट से पता चला नहीं यार, ये जो टूर्नामेंट है ना, इस पर you'll get a lot of new stars coming up, lot of new clubs coming up, and that might be the motivation for clubs like, say, maybe West Ham next season. I'm just putting it out there, who might actually go very very hard on this tournament as well, because let's be honest, at the end of the day, yes, it is about the players that you do, how well you do in the league, and that's how you gain your revenue really, and that's how you gain your fans. But trophies at the end of the day, and the larger picture counts for more, and that's what something that will always count. What do you think after Mbappe incident? Will Madrid go for any forward? मैं star कर रहा हूँ इस पर again right now, because we'll be looking at the lineups and etc. I'm starting and coming to this question because we are just covering the Conference League final for now. Even Rogers was not happy. Yeah, it's a brilliant incentive, especially for the clubs that are not financially mammoth, and a great extra bit of credit and chance at glory for having a good season. Yeah, and Spurs. Well, the irony is Spurs were out. Imagine. So Spurs had to, this was their chance. I know Conte is there, and talking about Conte, who knows better than Conte than Fateh? Yeah. Fateh, honestly, like again, this is a little bit off topic, but firstly, Spurs definitely lost a big chance this season. Secondly, even we have to talk about how Italian football has helped Conte and maybe Italian football in general. Like, आप देखो AC Milan coming up the ranks, Roma coming in the final of this. So about Italian football in general, like and the Conte effect.
So no, I think what Conte got was that Conte in Europe is a different animal to Conte in the league. That Conte struggles in Europe. A lot of people criticized him, but I think he took over Tottenham at a very late stage. To sort of turn their fortunes in the Conference League. I think it's also for these big clubs. Fourth spot is a bigger trophy than the Conference League. Like
Hmm.
if you gave the Spurs fans a choice today that you can win the Conference League but not get fourth spot, or you can get fourth spot and not win the Champions League, they'd always pick fourth spot. They'd always pick qualification for the Champions League. So I think in that sense, I wouldn't read too much into that. I think group stages, a lot of teams don't take it seriously. Let's not forget, Bodo Glimt beat this Jose Mourinho's Roma 6-1, 6-0. What was
Yeah,
that
yeah,
score? So
yeah.
that
That's
happened.
correct. That's correct. Absolutely right. In fact, मतलब, it was the last game against Bodo, that they got their win. Otherwise, वो बाहर हो जाते. Simple as that.
बाहर हो जाते
और
सो
यार मैं quickly comment करना चाहूँगा. I think I'm going to be addressing Swanendu here. So Swanendu Sony 10-1 में आ रहा है. If you're watching on TV, Sony 10-1 पे आ रहा है, तो I would recommend you to subscribe to Sony 10-1 अगर आपके पास है. नहीं तो I believe there must be on Sony Live and other apps. I'm not too sure on that. लेकिन हाँ,
Yeah.
Sony 10-1 पर तो मैं देख रहा हूँ. And I can clearly see that there's an opening ceremony going on right now. It's pretty strange. Huh? मतलब, within 5 minutes, all these things get cleared up, and a proper football match is going to begin.
And this is a big thing also for the host city, the country, Albania. This is the first time they are hosting a
Very
major
big point.
European
Yeah.
final. They were
Mhm.
saying, I was watching a report, I think on the BBC or something, that there were so many flights into Tirana. There were, flights. Some flights were from Israel going to Poland and then coming to Albania. Like it's been crazy for them, and they've never seen this sort of, like the attention that Albania is seeing right now. So absolutely,
Mhm.
I think it's massive. I mean, this tournament has a lot of positives for the smaller teams, for the smaller clubs.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल यार, शायद जैसे मैंने बोला सोनी 10-1 पे आप शिफ्ट कर सकते हो इफ यू आर वाचिंग ऑन टीवी. सुपर स्पोर्ट इन अफ्रीका. ओके, थैंक यू फॉर शेयरिंग दैट एज वेल. मटाटा यूनाइटेड, बिग अप टू मटाटा यूनाइटेड. आई थिंक tanzania से हमें ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं. Yes, thanks Hardik as well. Spurs lost because of Arsenal postponing. यहाँ पर श्रेय आ गए. Postponing their Premier League match with fake COVID test, and UEFA didn't take into consideration. यार, Spurs should have won. Period. मतलब despite जो भी आप reason बोलो, Spurs should have won. I think Spurs ने हगा था इस season में, इस competition में. It is their fault if they didn't have a backup kind of a squad. It is their fault. I would blame Daniel Levy there. No other person. Again, Spurs fan, that is the reality. Well, I'm pretty sure you are more gutted than me. This Conference League was your chance, just like Jose Mourinho the last time got sacked one day before the final. I think these are two recent chances. I remember that Spurs had a genuine chance, or at least a 50-50 chance of a trophy, I would say almost. Syed, there's nothing wrong here. Come on, let's respect every location here. There's nothing wrong that. But anyway, यहाँ पर आ गए हैं श्रेय. सो श्रेय, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल भाई, मैंने तो ऑलरेडी झंडा लहरा दिया है. एक तो यार ये कर दो थोड़ा सा और भी श्रेय को, क्योंकि श्रेय बैक्ड अस बिग टाइम डिस्पाइट इट बीइंग अ फुटबॉल चैनल. यार ये मेरी एक्साइटमेंट में रख नहीं पा रहा हूँ, because that is a different league altogether जो हमने जीता है from the jaws of defeat, which very rarely happens. But coming back to the football, bhai, what about Jose Mourinho? Like, we have spoken so much about Jose Mourinho, about Chelsea, Shreya, over the years, but do you think that this win of Jose Mourinho will probably again, जो doubters है, शायद ही कोई है doubters, I hope no one is a doubter in terms of Jose Mourinho's legacy in football. Like, and you think this is going to be the next level, or it means for nothing, it's a Conference League? Where are you?
No, I think it's gonna be. I can't say next level because I think that will be too far to say that it will be a way next level. But it will be a very good achievement because see, I think as much as it hurts me to say this, I think at top level he was a bit done in my opinion because I think tactically his player management was just getting a too outdated. Sadly, you saw Chelsea, you saw United. I think some things just didn't work for him. At Tottenham, I don't blame him. It was just Tottenham being Spursy and everything, and it's not even being no, Ankit bhai, it's not even being banter. Daniel Levy sacking him just before
He
final.
still did well. I think I remember the day he ended sixth, if I'm not wrong. वो celebrate कर रहा था.
Yeah.
Imagine Jose Mourinho celebrating for being sixth. Or you can easily say that being in his position, you would obviously do that. Man United may also, he said that finishing second was his greatest achievement, one of his greatest achievements. So you have to kind of believe, and Jose Mourinho, he doesn't do it for the sake. He doesn't need the limelight anymore. Like, he's got it enough. वो एक था, एक Jose Mourinho था who used to kind of love the limelight and all those things. He's not that anymore. He has changed as a person. So you have to buy that certainly. But I'll quickly move to the lineup because kickoff होने वाला है 3 मिनट में. और जैसे मैंने बोला था यार, ये ओपनिंग सेरेमनी होती है यार, 3-4 मिनट में लोग कैसे क्लियर कर देते हैं भाई. Hats off man to these people who do it, who's watching it. But this is what the lineup is. Again, I'll come to Fateh quickly यहाँ पर. So Fateh, first of all, yeah, a word on Tammy Abraham. मतलब, has it been the Serie A which has kind of helped him? Do you think he is underrated, or do you think he is gradually improving and he's probably going to get there, or he's just one of Roma's best signings ever?
I don't know if he's Roma's best signing ever, but he has been a refreshing change to the forwards, the kind of forwards that Roma had. I mean, Dzeko, was so slow last year for them. He fell out with the manager. So I think Tammy Abraham has been very humble. He didn't, like I kept telling you, I think we discussed this before. He didn't make a good start at the beginning. The first 3-4 months, it seemed like all his goals were in the Conference League. There was nothing happening in the league. But, he's kept at it. Mourinho has persisted with him. He's not dropped him to the bench. He's persisted with him. He's shown confidence in him. And this calendar year, 2022, I think Tammy Abraham has been very good in the league as well. So he's a player who's really growing. And I do hope that, he stays at this atmosphere for at least 1 or 2 more seasons, because I think there's so much growth that he can have. And the kind of pressure, that is at Roma is probably not the same that he would have faced at Chelsea. So I think this is a very good move for all the parties.
Interesting. Or just talking about the lineup as well, because you someone who kind of follows Italian football so closely, Fateh. Again, I think previously we spoke about I think हमने semi साथ में किया था, if I remember right, and that was the Leicester game. So one player that we spoke about is Zalewski. He is basically, I think, possibly the next big thing for Roma. Any other person who can be an X factor, because Feyenoord, like I said, they can score the goals, so they need to be careful, defensively more compared to the attacking wise. I really feel that.
Again, like everybody keeps saying, Jose Mourinho, the criticism has always been he doesn't promote youth. Mourinho's come in and he's promoted this guy, Zalewski, and he's done so well. I mean, I think he's 18 or 19. Mourinho's shown the faith in him. Remember, Spinazzola, the star of the early part of the Euros, is out injured. But now that Spinazzola, I think, is fit, even then Mourinho's, showing more faith in the youngster. So, I mean, that's fantastic to see. But however, the way Roma play, it's those two guys, Pellegrini and Zaniolo. Everything that Roma do is through those two. And if Zaniolo's on fire today, then I think this could be a one-sided game.
Fair enough. And yes, people, like, I'm sharing it on social media. मुझे पता है यार, काफी kind of live streams होंगे. And I thank the people who are there, but it will certainly help, including the panel, if you can just retweet my tweet. I'm just tweeting it right now, so that we are having a few people as kickoff has taken place right now. So I'm just putting it. If the panel and the chat can just retweet my tweet, it'll really help so that we have more people into the stream, and people जो भी है like कर दिया hopefully, so that we have a lot more conversation going on. So I'll come to Shrey. मतलब again lineup तो हम देख लिए Shrey, but again any word on Tammy, मतलब any sense of regret there?
No, Ankit bhai, surprisingly, I don't think I have any regret in that because see, I think Chelsea fans we keep on just flip flopping every time. Sometimes it's back the manager, sometimes it's not the back the manager. Sometimes if a manager makes a choice, we keep saying no. Why did he make that? But then you see some accounts coming on Twitter and saying, "But our board does not back the manager. They do not give him the freedom." You see Pep Guardiola, he straight away came at City. He knocked Joe Hart away. He knocked mostly all of their legends away. Then he built his own side. So on one hand, we want a manager to do his way, but then we don't want him to do his way. I think I really liked Tammy. He was a fantastic player. But I think I understood the both sides. The manager, for some reason, did not prefer him. His career was stagnating now. He's enjoying himself. And we are also, I think, not interrupting his development as a player. And I think if he becomes a better player, 70 million, I think that's not a big deal for Chelsea, considering we earned 40 million for him as well. So I think it's win for both parties. We do not interrupt his career. And also, I think he develops very, very well. And also, I think Tammy still for me has to do more development for him to become at that level. But overall, I'm very happy for him because unlike other players, he was very professional when it came to the Chelsea thing. He did not put any fuss behind the scenes. There was only one fuss, if you remember, Ankit, by in the FA Cup final when I think his sister or wife put something on Instagram
हाँ his
story.
girlfriend actually it was girlfriend basically क्या है उसको खिलाया नहीं था और वो FA Cup वो लोग ही actually ले गए थे literally it was Tammy and the youngsters who took Chelsea to the FA Cup final or him not being played was kind of weird but again I think उस समय Tuchel was trying to work out his system more or less anything yes absolutely sports cup in the house big up और इन्होंने सही बोला था सही prediction तो brilliant that और यार आप बोलिए हेमंत और people in the chat let's get in your predictions the kickoff has already been kind of happened so it's like 2 minutes into the game what is your score prediction come on Fateh क्या score line आपका
Um, I think Roma will win, but probably 2-0.
okay perfect uh, what about you Shrey क्या लगता है
I think this match will go to extra time. I believe Roma will win 2-1. I think it's their first match, so I think they will concede a goal in the final because Roma are a team that's leaky. But I think Roma is going to score. They are very good team attackingly. I watched their match against Fiorentina as well, and they're a bit too open sometimes. And unlike a Mourinho side, they allow a lot of chances. But overall, I think Tammy in attack, and I think it's a good side. And I think it's going to be Roma 2 and the opponent 1, and I think it's going to go to extra time.
अरे भाई एक्स्ट्रा टाइम वापस से नहीं प्लीज प्लीज वो यूरोपा लीग फाइनल वॉच अलोंग आई रिमेंबर मैन इट रियली वेंट डाउन द वायर लेकिन आई एम होपिंग नहीं यार मतलब अगेन डेसर्स मैन वर्ड फॉर डेसर्स द नाइजीरियन फॉरवर्ड हु इज काइंड ऑफ विनिंग डच हार्ट्स a lot of them for Feyenoord लेकिन just a word on Feyenoord in general मतलब honestly speaking following a lot of Dutch football Feyenoord over the years have had a lot of historically great strikers और वो रहा है Feyenoord का they've always produced that no matter what और I think Dessers is one काफी underrated हुए if I'm not wrong even in this conference league Tammy and Dessers are just neck to neck almost right so वो interesting रहेगा I think Tammy has got one over Dessers right now as things stand again correct me if I'm wrong people in the channel in the panel or chat but certainly I think Dessers is one to watch out for any particular player that the chat or panel would want to highlight. I think Sinistra is one person that
Sinistra, absolutely. I think the next Colombian Muriel, or like there's been a lot of hype about Sinistra. So I mean, let's see. I think this is, and it's interesting. You mentioned the strikers that Feyenoord have had. I mean, I remember Julio Cruz was at Feyenoord, Roy Mackay, Dirk Kuyt, John Dahl Thomason, Pierre Van Hooydonk. These are the ones that I've seen.
Solomon Kalou also was there, right?
Kalou and Van Persie too, I think.
Van Persie too. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
I mean, fantastic forwards that they produce.
Mourinho is already fuming from the Feyenoord press. Well, brilliant, man. Ankit Bhai has such a big stream just before the stream. Still has stamina to do the stream. Ankit Bhai, yeah, Shrey was there as well. So big up to Shrey. And of course, Fateh has had a very long day. And again, yeah, people, just to let you all know, yes, I know. Again, maybe there are a few people watching, but that's what it's a family. It's your channel as well. What I have done is I've also shared this link on my community page right now on the YouTube. So if you guys, anyone watching, anyone in the panel also could just go and give a like to Almighty Blues FC, the community page. It'll certainly help so that this goes. YouTube kind of recommends this to more people. Or same goes for the stream. Like if you can just put in the likes, that will be great. Absolutely. मैं बाकी देखता हूँ which team do you support in Dutch league? So in the Dutch league, honestly, it's been Ajax over the years. मतलब it's not that I support as such, because यार आप support किसको करते हो? जो आपको श्रद्धा से देखते हो. मतलब to be honest, it'll be a lie if I say that I was able to watch. नहीं. Firstly, I didn't have the time. Secondly, यार, I was when I was living abroad, I used to watch much more. बिकॉज वहां पर एक्सेस था. यहाँ पर तो सारा एक्सेस ही नहीं है. हार्डली कुछ मैचेस आते हैं भाई. एरिडिविजी में कहाँ तो फॉलो करोगे. और स्टैंडर्ड गिर गया भाई एरिडिविजी का. हम लोग विटेस बोल सकते हैं. चेल्सी फैंस विल रिलेट टू दिस. विटेस वाज आवर सेकंड होम, राइट? ऑलमोस्ट. श्रेय, यू रिमेंबर हु ऑल वर देयर? इतने. मेसन माउंट, टॉक अबाउट हिम.
I think with Vitesse we had a very good partnership. I think they were a place which used to develop a lot of players. I think Mason Mount had a very good low spell there, and I think he then went to Derby, had a good spell under Frank, and then I think he's become the player today that he is. And you also saw today Nuno Tavares, Arsenal player, saying that the most toughest opponent he has faced in the Premier League is Mason Mount. So I think that's very good to see that. And I've always said that Mason Mount is still our most threatening attacker for all the. He might not have the, you can say, that skill that Pulisic has, or that you can say like Ziyech, that cross ability, that you can say flashy things. But he's a very good player when it comes to the final output, his goals. Like you remember Ankit, by before the Sheffield match last year when he missed some chances, and Chelsea TV, I believe, put an interview where Mason Mount said that I have to improve my finishing, and then boom, 2 days later he finishes a left foot striker against Sheffield United. So that shows his commitment, that he asked for the improvement and he makes it. So lovely player.
And
Absolutely, absolutely.
coming on the Dutch league, when I was a kid, I used to really follow the Dutch league a lot, and I used to like Ajax. And one of my favorite players as a kid was Jesper Gronkjær, and that's also one of the reasons why I have a soft spot for Chelsea, because so
He
many
told me.
fans growing up right now, they don't even know about Gronkjær. He was an amazing player on his day. Like, he was at times almost unplayable. And I think the goal that got Chelsea into the Champions League right before the Roman Abramovich era that began.
$20 million game.
Yeah, 2-1, I think, at home.
2-1,
And it was scored
exactly.
by Gronkjær, and I used to just love watching him play. He was, a career marred by injuries, but he had that Ajax connection. I remember as a kid seeing him for Ajax, thinking, "Wow, this is a great player." And then he ended up at Chelsea, and I think he was probably forgotten. People remember Robin when it comes to the Dutch players, but I think Gronkjær, I mean, he was Danish, but he came from Ajax, and very good player.
Correct. और मतलब अगेन जस्ट गोइंग ऑन एज द गेम गोज ऑन. यार ये Mourinho मास्टर क्लास ऑलरेडी चल रही है यहाँ पर. तो Feyenoord is kind of keeping the ball. Mourinho kind of as in playing the waiting game. लेकिन quickly also just talking about Ajax and Feyenoord and stuff like that ना. Ajax का एक और चीज है. One player whom I regret not watching live. मतलब but having watched him so closely. और एक और player जो who was one of my favorites in Milan was Shevchenko, but the guy I'm talking about is Van Basten. Van Basten basically was wow. And again, Shevchenko, for people who watch Shevchenko very closely in Milan days, will know that what I'm talking about. That if you actually watch Van Basten videos, very similar in the way that both of them played. So he was actually called, the next Van Basten at Milan. And of course, even Van Basten played for Milan, having said that, right? So, movie connection hai. But that's some great history for you all. So, a quick history lesson. With Fateh being there, me and Fateh always get into that different zone, and hopefully, Shrey will add on, like always, right? Which team you supporting today? Sabur, by the way, thanks for joining. So, pretty sure all the three will be supporting Jose Mourinho, but I'll just confirm it. Shrey, do you have, you want a surprise?
No, I think Jose is the best.
यहाँ पर यार फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हम दोनों तो चेल्सी फैंस ही, मैं और श्रेय. और Fateh, like I said, he has a soft corner, but at the same time, Jose Mourinho was a legend to Inter Milan fans. Inter Milan is what, because literally what he changed the mentality of Inter Milan, or that proved the moment वो गया ना, भाई Benitez आया और सब बिखर गया.
And I think, Ankit, it's the same. I mean, I'm being harsh on Simone Inzaghi. He's still very young. I shouldn't be. But it's the same with Conte as well. Like the moment Conte won, and this was something that Inter Milan fans were talking about. Like, success is so short-lived. It happens, and then everything just changes. And, you're just left there with that taste in your mouth that, oh my God, what could have been? But it's never a dynasty. But I think that's just the way it is,
यार ये by the way, see people getting the questions, and I can see some people joining in. Thanks a lot everyone who has joined. और आते ही यार सब लोग like smash कर दो, और do check out Shrey FC के channel. His channel has been tagged below. And I have tagged Fateh in the Instagram post that I made. So hopefully you guys can give a follow to Fateh as well. But Werner at Chelsea. So again, I think me and Fateh had a conversation about it. I think around the last 3 weeks. Like Shrey, I don't remember speaking to you about it recently after Werner's so-called form and then form off. क्या लगता है मतलब? We need to offload him.
I think Ankit bhai, if Super League idea really came, I think Werner would have been one of the best players. I think if you can have a league where we play big teams every day, Real, City, Liverpool, I think Werner is just going to flourish. But if you want to play Burnley, Brentford, Brighton, he just doesn't work because Ankit bhai, if you remember his Leipzig days, here in German Bundesliga they really press very very highly, and the defenders are very very high that compared to the Premier League. And he used to get the space. So even in Leipzig, it's not like he used to convert every chance. वो हर chance नहीं करता था. जैसे कोई भी उसको chance मिलती थी. Like his conversion rate was very low. But 3 chances 1 goal, 4 chances 2 goals. उसका like Werner always has this type of player. Now when we play, I watched Chelsea matches this season, and if you can remember Ankit bhai, when we play deep opposition, even Brentford, like they're absolutely sat back. और क्योंकि ये इतने पीछे बैठते हैं वो रन मारता है सिर्फ पीछे, लेकिन जगह नहीं मिलती. उसकी सबसे बड़ी एबिलिटी है वर्नर की पिछे रन मारना डिफेंडर के, लेकिन प्रीमियर लीग में आपको स्पेस मिलनी ही नहीं है. दैट्स द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम दैट इज फेस एट चेल्सी. और उसकी फिनिशिंग कभी एक्यूरेट नहीं है. इट्स अबाउट 2 finishes 5, 2 finishes 6, एंड आई रियली लाइक हिम. उसका प्रोफेशनलिज्म इज फैंटास्टिक फॉर अ प्लेयर. कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं क्रिएट करता. ही फाइट्स, ही गिव्स एवरीथिंग. रियाल के खिलाफ यू हैव टू से दैट इन बोथ, स्पेशली द बर्नेबो गेम, he was magnificent, the best player on the pitch for me. Like जो से परफॉर्मेंस पुट करी उस दिन, आई थिंक दैट वाज the 50 million we paid for. But अगर अंकित भाई हम प्रीमियर लीग में कई टीमों के खिलाफ देखें जो जिन टीमों को हमें हराना चाहिए, तब लगता है कि शायद 50 मिलियन ने वेस्ट कर दिए. तो बहुत इफी बटी है. तो मुझे लगता है कि इज बेटर दैट हम उसको भी फ्लरिश करने दें. आई थिंक ही इज नॉट सूटेड टू प्रीमियर लीग. वो मोस्ट सूटेड है बड़ी गेम में, या फिर हम उसको रखें एंड वी यूज हिम एज एन इंपैक्ट सब और बड़ी गेमों में प्लेयर. बिकॉज आई थिंक अंकित भाई लुकाकू का एज मच एज मैं लो क्रिटिसाइज करे, लुकाकू इज स्टिल अ बेस्ट बेट नेक्स्ट सीजन अगर हमें 20 गोल चाहिए स्ट्राइकर से बॉटम टीमों के खिलाफ. लेकिन लुकाकू इज नॉट अ बिग गेम प्लेयर एंड वहां पे हमारे लिए वर्नर काम आ सकता है. तो आई स्टिल बिलीव वी कैन कीप हिम एज अ सब्स्टिट्यूट.
यप फेयर इनफ. यहाँ पर यार कैन फॉरेस्ट गेट प्रमोटेड? भाई हम आते हैं क्वेश्चंस पर. क्या होता है ना, मतलब अगेन थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर पीपल जॉइनिंग आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस, बट आप बस स्पैम मत करिए. सेम क्वेश्चन 2-3 बार पूछेंगे, मैं लूंगा भाई आप लोग का क्वेश्चन. लाइक ऑलवेज डू, आई ट्राई एंड टेक ऑल द क्वेश्चंस. I don't want to stop a panel in between and take the question. I'm sure you won't like it, and that's the only reason I didn't take it. In the last 2 minutes. So, talking about history, Fateh, Nottingham Forest pretty much remember what kind of history they've had. So they are playing Huddersfield Town, और अपना Levi Colwill है, अपना center back है, Chelsea का एक है, who's doing pretty well. He is supposed to be the next big thing again. It's easy for us to say it. He's not proven at the highest level. So I am to supporting Huddersfield. लेकिन again, person of old school, do you think कि Forest coming to the Premier League, it couldn't get any better, or
it couldn't get any better? I mean, like I was desperate for Leeds to stay up. I think I've told you that. I'm desperate to see them in the Premier League. In the same vein, I mean, I'm desperate to see Forest come up. I mean, 2 Champions League titles. Spurs don't have that. Who else doesn't have that? Arsenal don't have that. Man City don't have that. Newcastle United, like everybody's talking about how big they're going to be. They don't have that. To have Forest back, I mean, come on, it's a no-brainer. I want them back.
Yeah, I think you'll never sing that. वो तो पूरे सीजन में सुनने मिलेगा, especially for Spurs, Arsenal, Newcastle fans. मतलब you know it already. Conte should get Werner and bring out the best from him. Very interesting, भाई. Interesting comment. मतलब does he need a Werner? Really, I know he needs a backup striker, but again, I wouldn't call him that either. He's not your starting striker in a backup 11. You know what I mean? He is your super sub at best. Or he, like Shrine bola, he is good in cup competition, but Conte, as it is, he doesn't do very well in cup competitions. For some strange reason, that's not his priority. क्या बोलोगे Fateh?
See, I think at Spurs, it will be his priority. He's going to get a lot of money, but they can't sort of have a group stage exit in the Champions League because I get it, a new stadium, but I was reading some report
about... Sorry. Mkhitaryan looks injured. और भाई अभी तक I know we are not talking much about the game because honestly कुछ ज़्यादा हुआ नहीं game में. It's basically Feyenoord attacking or Roma sucking the pressure. It's typical Jose Mourinho. it's a tactic. People thinking me Feyenoord are getting the better of Roma. Nahi. I'm pretty much sure it's a Jose Mourinho tactic. And seeing Feyenoord, I don't think they'll be able to keep up. But Mkhitaryan getting injured, very very crucial. So yeah, quickly before Fateh continues on the point. So whom do they have on the bench? Maitland Niles. He can be an option midfield. Mein.
No, I think
Never know.
it's the Portuguese dude.
Oliveira, Sergio Oliveira. मतलब वो
Yeah.
first of all the fact that वो loan पे आया था, that was itself a surprise. लेकिन he's a good player. Sergio Oliveira has to be the guy who comes on. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah,
And
please, Fateh, continue about
Mkhitaryan is
Conte.
being linked with a move to Inter Milan, because we are losing Vidal. Vidal is leaving. So to see
Oh,
him
okay.
get injured again, kind of distressing. I would not want a injury-prone player. We, as it is, don't have a deep bench.
बिल्कुल 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 अरे थैंक्स फॉर सेइंग दैट यार मतलब इट ऑलवेज इज वेरी प्राउड फीलिंग इसका लेकिन 100 million 150 million apparently for Conte not bad
But see, that's the point. Like Spurs are not really doing all that well financially. I get it; they'll have money, but with that new stadium, the loans that they've taken, this is a gamble. And when you're taking this gamble, if you do not get out of the group stages, you don't get the extra revenue from the Champions League. And I don't know whether 150 million is enough for Spurs to win the league. Like, is it? Do you
हाँ
guys think they can?
देखो यार कुलुसेस्की आई डोंट थिंक इज इंक्लूडेड इन दैट आई होप नॉट क्योंकि आई थिंक कितना क्लॉज है आपको पता है कुलुसेस्की का
35,
आई
I
थिंक
think.
35 था क्या
उसके लिए अंकित भाई उसके लिए कुछ कल आया था कि उसको इतने अमाउंट ऑफ गेम्स खेलनी पड़ेगी नेक्स्ट सीजन और गोल्स मारने पड़ेंगे कुछ वो एक्सेस
No,
करने के
I
लिए
think the clause was if they get Champions League, they have to buy him. But I think Conte confirmed already before that even if they will not be, they will be buying Kulusevski completely because I think that's a signing that's worked out. And Conte wanted Kulusevski at Inter as well. So Conte knows the players that he wants, he makes them work.
नहीं नहीं बिल्कुल तो अगर कुलुसेस्को को ऐड नहीं करे ना उसमें तब तो मेरे ख्याल से इट्स इनफ फतेह टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट मतलब आई एम
To
जस्ट
win
पुटिंग
the
वन पॉइंट
league.
बिफोर आई गो टू श्रेय देखो like they need technically they need two center halves मतलब I know that Sanchez is not reliable Davis is not reliable लेकिन between I think Eric Dier and maybe Sanchez one of them will play every game I feel or of course Romero is there तो एक center half will do uh, Regular needs to get fitter. I think there are reports कि Conte इतना खुश नहीं उसके attitude or whatever. It's kind of strange because he fits in that system beautifully. Right wing back you can argue, but I think again the second half of the season they've not been too bad. To be very honest, still चलो एक right wing back सोचते एक center half सोचते और एक बैकअप स्ट्राइकर सोचते मिडफील्ड ऐसे भी बेंटन कर आ गए हैं फिट चल रहे मतलब फॉर मी आई थिंक स्किप एंड विंग्स आर डिसेंट बैकअप्स Højbjerg is very good. So
No, but
and
Ankit, are you
Mora
saying
is
these players,
surplus.
Bentancur can win the league? Like, are you saying they can win the league or top four?
नहीं नहीं अरे मैं तो देख ही ना अगेन पोटैटो बॉय एंड अदर स्पर्स फैन सॉरी यार मतलब मैं तो आई नो कॉन्टे विल थिंक लाइक दैट लेकिन आई थिंक फॉर देम achievement would be even staying in the top four and I'm being very honest on that मतलब I don't know Shrey what do you think over to you
I think Ankit bhai winning could be very difficult. I can't lie, but I think they have a bit of chance if they spend well. Because Ankit bhai, the thing is, what I do see is again it will depend on the situation. If Kane and Son can stay fit for the whole season, like if Kane is injured, God forsake it doesn't happen. But if he's injured, I think they can even finish sixth. That's how bad they are attackingly without Kane or Son.
इसीलिए
That's
मैं बोल
the.
रहा हूँ ना इसीलिए taking everything into perspective
But
I
if
think
they can
even
stay fit, if
challenging
they can
for
stay
the
fit,
challenging for them maybe the second spot or maybe even finishing third or fourth. I don't think it'll be an underachievement. I genuinely feel even they're not going to sign a Neymar. Let's be realistic also, right? I'm just giving an example. Again, no links, nothing. मैं ऐसे बोल रहा हूँ यार. Even Neymar to Chelsea looks laughable at times, and I'm being very honest about it. Sorry, Chelsea fans, that's the reality of it. We don't these days sign what we used to sign in mid 2000s. We don't do that these days. And that's the reality of it. People in the prime who are in 20, 28, 30 years of age who are in the absolute prime. Lukaku was an exception. Let's not go there. Like, certainly, I think with Spurs, the kind of names they're talking about are the players who are possibly bigger fish in a smaller pond themselves. But बड़े players छोड़ के अपने बड़े clubs नहीं आएंगे. That's the reality. Unless they want first team football or Conte knows them personally like Italians, maybe Perisic kind of people at best.
I think that's
yeah.
interesting. I mean, there was a report that Inter Milan might need to make 60 million. So they were saying they were talking about a defender, bids might be accepted. But that's actually that's just a rumor right now. So maybe Bastoni, maybe we would like to get rid of De Vrij. So if Spurs can give us even 20 million for day fry, we would love it because we are getting Roma,
अरे कल चैट में एक जन बोल ही रहा था मुझे कि
yeah,
डेफराई को क्यों
Depay's
नहीं ले
had a
रहा.
very bad season. Like he's the one guy who's really not done it this year, but last year he was best defender.
Give us Skriniar.
Yeah, so absolutely. So so that could happen, but I hope that Bastoni isn't the one going. Also, you're right. Why would players leave a top club and go to Spurs? I think that's the big problem, and that's why they'll have to overpay. And when you have to overpay, then for 150 million you can't get 5 players. You'll probably get 2 or 3. And
Fair point.
and Conte wants to win trophies, guys. Like Conte is not interested in top 4 or all that. So I mean, how does that play out? That's why I wondered, can they win a trophy? And if they can't,
No.
then I think Conte.
Just coming to this point, how many games has actually Kulusevski started? I don't think it's games played. I think it's games started. I don't know. I might be wrong. So from what I know, it is still an option to buy. I don't think it has become an obligation to buy. Lekin they will buy. Either way, I
They
think
will
he has been one of the signings of the season.
Yeah,
At least for the non as in Premier League winning teams and so on and so forth, right? जवाब तो दो यार. Again, your best WhatsApp status. There's always a way to kind of prioritize your chats. And again, I don't want to say this, but because लगता है आपको नहीं पता, इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि there is a super chat option. Yes, we are monetized on Almighty Blues FC. It's kind of strange that we are getting more people watching on Almighty Sports Plus versus Almighty Blues FC these days, despite having more subscribers. लेकिन वही है ना, people might think that we are the same channel. नहीं, दो अलग channels हैं. उसमें आपका ऑप्शन नहीं यहाँ पर है, तो आपको अगर प्रायोरिटाइज करना करिए. और काफी बार क्या होता है, हम बात कर रहे होते हैं तो बात करें बीच में, मतलब इफ यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग अस टू स्टॉप एंड टेक अ कमेंट, इट्स काइंड ऑफ रूड फॉर द पैनल. दैट्स द ओनली रीजन आई डोंट टेक इट. बट आई स्टार. अभी भी काफी लोग ये सोच रहे होंगे मैं नहीं ले रहा हूँ काफी क्वेश्चंस, एंड द पैनल कैन सी मैंने स्टार किया है 5 लोग के क्वेश्चंस, और वो मैं लेने वाला हूँ बिकॉज दैट वाज ऑफ टॉपिक, दैट वाज नॉट इन द टॉपिक दैट वी आर डिस्कसिंग और अबाउट द गेम. So we will be taking that questions in half time, maybe at the end of the 90 minutes. We'll certainly do that. So let me search for your question. Yeah, आपका star किया है, just to let you know. So this is what I was talking about. ठीक है, I've already started this. So by Chelsea के बाद क्या रोमन अब्रामोविच को रोमा पर इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए? तो यहाँ फतेह के पास आते हैं, because देखो AC Milan getting money now. ठीक है, I think formal हो गया, right? Official हो गया, from what I know.
No, not yet.
अच्छा, official नहीं है, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
So if
See,
that really gets official,
Yeah.
Roma needs the money.
No, Roma needs money, but then Italy is part of the EU. So how do they get Abramovich's money? That's the big question, because it's a EU thing now for Abramovich and Russian money.
No, but he can, I believe. So there were reports again. मतलब Valencia का reports था.
Reports are there, but it's not going to be that easy.
Roma almost. Oh, bhai, nice through ball.
Yeah, so
first attack by Roma.
Yeah, that's the politics side of it. Like a lot of people keep saying these reports. A country that's not in the EU, he will be able to do it. They will be able to influence it. That's why there were reports about Turkey. Turkish clubs, Roman Abramovich was able to do something. I think he's already bought or something. But Spain and Italy, they're still part of the EU. If they were to do this, they would be criticized heavily. And I don't think that can happen. So I think for Abramovich, it's going to be a year or two where he needs to take a back seat and then probably be back.
नहीं, fair enough. By the way, shout out to Lo Celso. Spurs ने मतलब श्रेय, मतलब Lo Celso, I always felt यार he was underutilized. Maybe थोड़ा injury prone भी था, that was one of the reasons. लेकिन he was underutilized at Spurs. मतलब I think he's found his home यार in Spain, नहीं?
I think अंकित भाई इसमें मुझे बस सिर्फ ये है कि I think Lo Celso played wonderfully that 2 matches against Liverpool. And जब Conte आया था, I thought wow, Conte is really going to use him because Conte को players पसंद है.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Bad tackle by the Feyenoord defender here. Tammy getting a bad one. यहाँ पर Feyenoord, पता नहीं, strange man. Feyenoord का attack का sudden से I think counter attack हो गया रोमा का, और then important Tirana of Feyenoord made a very very bad tackle. Let's see. Hopefully it's not that bad. Yeah, please continue.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my one is behind. That's a very bad tackle. And I think overall, Ankit bhai was just saying that Lo Celso is a player. He really puts himself on the pitch, like gives everything he has got. So जब वो आया, मुझे लगा like Conte can really use him. Conte का बहुत अच्छा player बन सकता है, क्योंकि Conte has always loved the players that put something about themselves. But it did not work for some reason, I think. And I still believe that Lo Celso is 100 times a better option than Oliver Skip and the other midfielders that Tottenham have. I still think,
लेकिन Lo Celso अलग है ना. Lo Celso plays in front of your double
no,
pivot.
but
He
I
doesn't play in
think वो
double
खेल
pivot.
सकता है. I think he can play in that middle because
That's not his natural
front.
position. I would
Now
disagree.
I
Again,
understand
like,
that, but
no.
Ankit bhai, he cannot play in the front three because attackingly instinct उसके इतने अच्छे नहीं है जितना मैंने देखा प्रीमियर लीग में. I think बेटिस में अलग था, पर प्रीमियर लीग में अटैकिंगली उसको यूज नहीं करा. पोचेटिनो ने भी नहीं करा, उसके बाद जोसे ने भी नहीं करा. जोसे ने आपको याद होगा उसको वो बना दिया था टैकलर टीम का, जैसे मैकटोमिनी के साथ यूनाइटेड में करा था.
Correct,
मैन
correct,
मार्किंग टाइप
correct.
रोल दे दिया था. और एक और चीज बोलना चाहूंगा, एंडोम्बोले आई थिंक बहुत अच्छा जब अपने बेस्ट पे खेलता है, ही इज अ ब्यूटी टू वॉच. आई डोंट नो क्या है एटीट्यूड प्रॉब्लम. आई थिंक टॉटनहम फैंस बेटर बता पाएंगे, लेकिन वो एक प्लेयर है. आई थिंक दैट विल बी बिग मिस.
मैं बोलूं क्या, किसकी याद दिलाता है Lo Celso? Again, मतलब Chelsea fans, you, I don't know, maybe relate to that or not. मतलब Juan Mata in his prime, ठीक है, that is what Lo Celso could be. अगर वो continue करे at this rate, I think he needs a space. So he is that player in the hole, simply the player in the hole who plays,
Didn't
who can
Mourinho
really
have
do
a problem with Mata at United or something?
exactly. तो वो वैसा प्लेयर फिट ही नहीं होता Mourinho के सिस्टम में, वही प्रॉब्लम है. He scarcely played him, or he played him on the wings. He's not that player क्योंकि आपको पेस नहीं मिलेगा like Shrey said. Or at the same time, he has the legs, but he's not your typical number 6, like I said. So he's a, cross between the two, who can kind of play both the roles. Actually, I would also like to say, like, a Ziyech in Chelsea. I know it's totally different player, but Ziyech is more like thoda wide forward, who kind of likes that space. मतलब a person who likes space जो exist नहीं करती चेल्सी में, just kind of relating it. अंकित भाई, यूएफा नेशंस लीग का क्या सीन है बता दो भाई. नेशंस लीग विल कवर, विल सर्टनली कवर. कब शुरू है भाई नेशंस लीग? आई थिंक वी स्टिल हैव टाइम, राइट? नेक्स्ट वीक, इफ आई एम
जून
नॉट
2
रॉन्ग.
आई बिलीव, जून 2 जून
हाँ,
3 से
नेक्स्ट
आई
वीक है.
बिलीव.
तो नेक्स्ट वीक वी आर कवरिंग यार, वी आर कवरिंग ऑब्वियसली अर्जेंटीना का मैच है अगेंस्ट इटली. वी हैव नेशंस लीग. Again, like, we'll be mixing up the content, like I always say, Gaurav and everyone, people. There'll be a lot more content. So again, 18 of you are watching. Hopefully यार सब लोग ने like कर दिया stream को. Do check out Shrey FC, please, and do check out our other channel, Almighty Sports Plus. Almighty Blues FC is a different channel. For people out, who don't know, we kind of got this channel back, and thanks to you all as well. लेकिन हाँ, certainly do like the stream. उससे ही YouTube, kind of will tell others, and I have posted on social media, so even likes and retweets will be absolutely fantastic. So यहाँ पर quickly, I know we're talking a lot of Spurs, लेकिन just to end the conversation, again, Bastoni has been linked very strongly with not only Spurs because of the Conte Italian Inter Milan connection, लेकिन last 24 hours में I think Chelsea से भी काफी strongly link हुआ है Bastoni. So that tells me that maybe Tuchel has kind of got the word out कि यार we are going to start with 3 at the back. So Fateh, you have seen a lot of players in 3 at the back system, centre back में. Like, where do you rate Bastoni there?
So, I think Bastoni is only 22, firstly. I think 21, 22. He's also a left-footed left centre back in that three-man defense. He's very good going forward. Like, our attacks under Simone Inzaghi, a lot of them
Nice
begin
passing by
with,
Feyenoord.
yeah, and our attacks begin with Brozovic and Bastoni combining together. So much. He's so good going forward. He's got a very good shot as well. So I mean, this is a fantastic player. Now, what's happening is, I think that Inter Milan just want to feel up the bids, and I think the best place is Chelsea and Spurs. They're both likely to be playing 3 men at the back, and I think both of them are deficient in that left centre back, the defender with the left foot. I don't think Chelsea have that right now. Who's Rudiger? Not, Rudiger's gone. So I think that's what's happening right now. 60, 70, 80 million is the price that's being quoted for Bastoni.
बहुत ज़्यादा
If
है
we-
यार, बहुत ज़्यादा है.
Yeah, but again, look, he's 22 years old. Cellini just said, that the Italian national team is in safe hands. He's my successor, so he's going to be playing for the national team now regularly. He's going to be the starter. So I don't think the price is too much for the EPL. Like, I don't know about Chelsea's finances, but if Spurs are coming, nothing less than 70 million will, I think, get it done.
हाँ,
So
Spurs को तो आप लोग 90 लो यार, मतलब I
yeah,
don't care.
absolutely. Like, like, we don't want to lose him because he's just 22, and
Yeah.
but let's see how the market goes. So that's one
Yeah.
player. Perisic is on a free, but Perisic has picked up an injury. They're saying Kostic or Perisic. Kostic is in his last year of contract at Frankfurt, but they'll still, he's won the Europa League, so they'll still want 20 odd. Perisic, great player.
I
But
think
again,
Kostic will be a steal. Kostic will be a steal
Kostic,
because
absolutely.
Regulon, if he has attitude issues or whatever, I don't know what is the story there. लेकिन वही है, for Conte, if you remember, like, pretty much your Shrey can add there, the Victor Moses and Alonso days. Like, we are
Oh,
talking about them complementing each other very well.
yeah,
Just like you had last season in, Inter Milan.
yeah.
That's about, there are certain wing backs जो आपको चाहिए, who need to understand each other. Or again, with a Kostic being there, who's experienced at such a young age, he's very experienced. Think about that. And someone who's kind of on a bombing on, or actually people don't realize he's actually improved a lot in defense because of Frankfurt playing the system that they've done last 12 months में. So I would agree that he would be a steal, and मैं तो बोल ही रहा था चेल्सी को जाना चाहिए पेरिसिच और कॉस्टिच जैसे people को.
Because see, Perisic is 34, Kostic is I think 29.
Yeah,
So even if somebody's paying for Kostic, I think he's got 3-4 very good years ahead of him.
और he's a late bloomer, Fateh. He's a
Late
late
bloomer,
bloomer.
absolutely.
तो
Absolutely.
ऐसे लोग मतलब anyone guessing यार how much is what age is Wayne Rooney? Wayne Rooney looks 47, लेकिन he's not. If you see Wayne Rooney, because that is the reason. Wayne Rooney was never a late bloomer. Wayne
Yeah.
Rooney started his career when, तो इतना सारा फुटबॉल खेल
17,
लिया तो you cannot.
16 or
Exactly.
17, I think.
Exactly. But हाँ, यहाँ पर quickly यार राजेश का comment ले लेते क्वेश्चन है यहाँ पर यार, basically it's the winner of the championship, the team which comes second, and there's a playoff kind of a tournament which happens between the third, fourth, fifth, sixth teams, और जो फाइनल है वो इस संडे है. गोल होने वाले रोमा
Goal.
का हो गया. अरे भाई, what a take and finish.
Zaniolo?
Zaniolo.
Yeah.
And this guy, याद है दो तीन साल पहले Zaniolo was like, oh man, he's the next big thing, last season even, to be honest. But
No, I mean, see, he's had 2 ACL injuries. Somebody mentioned in the comments, I think it was Barua who said that, both legs, he's lost his 2 ACL injuries. For him to come back, score in a final, it's amazing. And, he was an Inter Milan youth project. We lost him in the 9 Golan deal, and we repent so much because he's one of the most talented Italians out there right now.
What a ball, man. कौन था भाई वो सेंटर हाफ था क्या? कौन खेला था वो बॉल?
Smalling? No, not Smalling.
Really?
No.
Wow. That was a Danny Perejo kind of a pass. Let me put it that way. Danny Perejo जो खेलता है ना, yeah, definitely. यार नहीं यार, वो डिफेंसिवली इतना सॉलिड नहीं है Danny Perejo. Just to let you know. Now, that's my opinion again. He can play very well in the 3-man midfield, I feel. What happened to that Lamela was, I think Sevilla में pretty decent. I would say he's done decently. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, मतलब Lamela was never a superb player. He scored great goals, but that was about it. Right?
And it was the same at Roma. He was at Roma, Lamela. I think they bought him from Roma. And he was just one of those players. In 5 games, he would have that one game, that one assist or one goal, and then you would not see him again. And then there were injuries.
Correct. Sevilla, exactly. And Ndombele was a big reason to get Mourinho sacked. And Ndombele spoiled. Was it in Mancini? Let me actually check who actually passed. Bhai Saab, bhai, young guy. Mancini getting the great pass. What a ball, but seriously. Yeah, Ndombele और इसकी लड़ाई चल रही है. Mourinho का चलता है भाई. Man United में Pogba के साथ हुआ क्या लास्ट में? नहीं, Pogba के साथ था ना actually.
I think Pogba के साथ था. I think उसके साथ कुछ ये भी आया था बाद में कि ट्रेनिंग ग्राउंड में पता नहीं हैंडशेक तक नहीं कर रहे थे. लाइक बहुत ज्यादा आई थिंक गंदे स्टेज तक आ चुका था कि रीजन था कि वो सैक ही होने वाला है. लेकिन प्रॉब्लम ये है कि मोरिनो तो सैक हो चुका, कॉन्टे के अंडर भी नहीं वो चला क्योंकि कॉन्टे जनवरी से पहले आया है एंड जनवरी में उसे लोन किया गया, तो कॉन्टे के अंदर भी नहीं चला, तो फिर तो कोई रीजन है. पोर्चेटिनो के अंदर भी नहीं चला.
So Tammy is the nice one. नहीं. I think it was overplay कर दिया. Tammy थोड़ा overplay कर दिया. He should have cut back. हाँ श्रेय, please continue.
बस मैं ही बोल रहा था अंकित भाई कि जो एंडम बोले उसके मुझे ये समझ नहीं आई कि चलो मोरिनो के चक्कर में उसकी लड़ाई हो गई, दैट्स फेयर इनफ टू हिम, बट ही आल्सो फेल आउट विद कॉन्टे, ही आल्सो डिड नॉट डू वेल अंडर पोर्चेटिनो. सो व्हाट इज द रीजन दैट अंडर 3 मैनेजर्स ही हैज फेल्ड फॉर अ प्लेयर दैट हैज सच गुड एबिलिटी इन हिम? सो I think he was a player when Tottenham buyed him. I thought, wow, that's a very good player along with Højbjerg, but never worked.
Look at Tammy. This guy is pumping up the crowd already. He's become the hero for Roma.
That's Jose effect.
हाँ, मतलब वो हॉलीवुड स्टाइल थोड़ा तो हो गया यार आपका बॉक्स ऑफिस. लेकिन यार ये सही है पोटैटो बॉय, एब्सोल्युटली. He couldn't stand catch up, or fitness regime is different level under Conte. वो Lukaku, one of the main reasons, again, people don't realize that he was actually fit. He was actually very fit at Inter.
We had Pintus. Pintus went to Real Madrid. Conte brought Pintus over. And when I still remember when Lukaku came, we were all like, what is this first touch? What is this weight? But my God, he became so fit under Conte. I mean, it was amazing, that transition to see. And I think it took about 3-4 months, After that, what Lukaku gave physically was amazing. And I think I keep wondering, I don't know whether Harry Kane is going to stay. I mean, he has said, I will stay. But maybe I think it's time for him to leave as well. And, Spurs to go for Lukaku. Why not? Like, I don't get
Yeah, yeah.
why Kane wants
बिल्कुल
to
बिल्कुल
stay on. Like,
कोई नहीं अरे बिग अप यार अद्वे Mikhail Yash big up to join as well. Mikhail, always good to see you, and of course here for Mourinho, man. We're just watching it for Mourinho, to be very honest, and a little bit of Dutch football जो है मतलब you know it what I'm talking about. Bastoni 60 million, अरे लड़ाई हो गई यहाँ पर. Already 35 minutes Jose Mourinho game, a final match. How can there be no fight? Come on, let's talk about it. I don't know what happened. It is really schoolboy stuff. Like, okay, Smalling just shielded. What's wrong in that? Okay, and the guy, okay, he pulled down Dessers, man. The shithousery. मतलब नीचे गिरा और साथ में डेसर्स को पुल कर दिया. जा भाई तू जा, फेंक दिया उसको पकड़ के. Bastoni 60 million, Kunde 70 million, Perisic free, Dembele free. We have 60 to 80 million for a CDM. Here we go up the charts. Ayush Mishra को अभी बना दो डायरेक्टर. Come on, let's get in Ayush Mishra in the house. लेकिन हाँ मतलब again, I genuinely feel it. Kunde is fantastic होने वाला है. We know it. Shreya लंदन में है. I think any moment आ जाएगा. Here we go. But 70 million, I really believe that's too much for Kunde.
आई थिंक अंकित भाई अभी रूमर भी आया था ना कि सेविया के फाइनेंशियल स्टेट इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, तो दे हैव टू गेट अ पर्टिकुलर अमाउंट ऑफ मनी बिफोर अ पर्टिकुलर डेट. तो कुंडे 70 में तो नहीं जाएगा, क्योंकि मरीना हैड अ चांस टू साइन हिम लास्ट ईयर. शी रिफ्यूज्ड इट बिकॉज़ दे वर आस्किंग फॉर 70. तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि हम 50 से ऊपर पे करेंगे कुंडे के ऊपर. अब अगर बास्तोनी भी है, अब यहाँ पे चैट में वो एक और नाम भूल गए.
नहीं यार, यहाँ थोड़ा सा डिसएग्रीमेंट है श्रेय मेरा, क्योंकि क्या है ना, चेल्सी आर ऑलरेडी बिहाइंड. आई थिंक जैसे हम गोइंग इन बोगीज, वी आर इन द लास्ट बोगी ऑफ द ट्रेन. हमें एक्चुअली चल के बीच में ना रास्ते से जाना और पहले बोगी में पहुंचना है. ठीक है, क्योंकि हमारी ओनरशिप की इश्यूज थी. जब हम बात भी नहीं कर पा रहे थे प्लेयर्स को, पीपल वर साइनिंग. एम्बापे साइन अ न्यू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. आई एम जस्ट गिविंग एन अपडेट यहाँ पर. ठीक है, रूडिगर हैज गॉन, क्रिस्टियनसन हैज गॉन. तो वो लोग ना तो बात किए, वो लोग साइन भी कर लिए, फॉर्मली ऑफिशियली हो गया, दंदनादन वी को हो गया. यहाँ पर व्हाट डिड यू डू, हमारे पास एट द मोस्ट वर्बल अग्रीमेंट होगा और वहां पर भी कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है. थिंक अबाउट इट, लास्ट 2 मंथ्स के लिए मरीना, पेटरचेक जा रहे भी होंगे, बात करेंगे प्लेयर्स के साथ, पिटी श्योर कर रहे होंगे. लेकिन विद व्हाट कॉन्फिडेंस कुड दे हैव सेड कि नहीं भाई हम लोग इतना दे देंगे? क्या मतलब कुछ भी कॉन्फिडेंस है? एब्सोल्युटली नहीं. तो फॉर मी दे कैन नॉट गो टू स्क्वायर वन अगेन. कुंडे के साथ ऑलरेडी द फैक्ट दैट हम वी विल बी फोर्स्ड इनटू बाइंग हिम ऑलमोस्ट, बिकॉज वी कैन नॉट अफोर्ड टू इवन वेस्ट अ सिंगल वीक. अभी वी कैन नॉट, मैं तो बोलूंगा वी कैन नॉट अफोर्ड टू वेस्ट इवन 72 आवर्स. और कुंडे का द मोमेंट इट्स ऑफिशियल, आई थिंक गवर्नमेंट ने कर दिया आज एज पर रिपोर्ट्स. कौन सा स्टेज बाकी है? आई थिंक एक ही स्टेज कोई बाकी है. तो
अरे वो पोर्टुगीज वाला है, जो पोर्टुगीज में नहीं रोमन का चक्कर है, वो वाला लाइसेंस क्लियर है.
या द ईयू थिंग, एग्जैक्टली. तो टेक्निकली इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग Monday 30th इज व्हाट आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग, रियलिस्टिकली स्पीकिंग. तो मंडे को ऑफिशियल पेपर कैन गो टू कुंडे और वो साइन कर सकता है. और एट द सेम टाइम आई एम अज्यूमिंग दैट चेल्सी हैज ऑलरेडी स्पोकन टू योर कांटे. कांटे 2023 में हो रहा है. माउंट apparently is going to get a new contract. तो वो सब जो चीज है मंडे को हो जाएगा और ट्यूसडे से लग जाओ भाई काम पर. दैट इज व्हाट इन टर्म्स ऑफ ट्रांसफर मार्केट. सो एंड मीनवाइल हम ऑलरेडी सुन रहे पेरिसिच, आई थिंक इंटर फतेह दे आर गिविंग अ improved deal to Perisic, already given.
No, so the contract that was offered initially was 4.5 million plus bonuses. Perisic wanted 6 million. Our best offer is 5 million plus 1 million bonuses for 2 years. So if you guys will offer him say 5.5 plus bonuses or 6 million, then he'll go there. And I think, look, with Perisic, he's wanted to play in the EPL. Like, that's been one of his dreams. There was a time when Jose Mourinho wanted him. I don't understand why Manchester United didn't pull the plug.
Exactly. Oh, bhai, वो तो Manchester United at the best.
He was the perfect Jose Mourinho player. Like, he is, and that engine that he has, up and down, up and down. So we've already got Goossens in that position. So I mean, yeah, I think let's see. This is going to be our final offer. So if you are going to offer him say 6 million, I think he can come. And it's a free transfer. I mean, he's got experience and he loves playing in that wing back role now. Initially, he didn't want to play there. He started off as a left wing back, wanted to play as a left winger. Now he's back at that position, and he's had a stellar season. He's been our best player. So I mean, if you get the chance on a free, why not?
Yeah, that's a great call. But यार again मैंने फतेह से जानबूझ के बात नहीं किया to be very honest about it because I didn't want to kind of start off on a bad note for Fateh. I was just being nice. अरे nice shot by Feyenoord भाई, लेकिन नहीं directly to the. I think again Rui Patricio, man, he has been iffy, but again let's see for Portugal where he lands. Portugal have suddenly have some great goalkeepers भाई. Jose as in Costa, lot of people are doing well. But Zlatan की बात करनी पड़ेगी यार. Come on, like we have to speak about what he's done. Of course, he's an Inter legend also. You would like to say that, right? He's certainly very good. Not a legend, but he has done pretty well.
Yeah, he did well. I mean, the first Mourinho season, it was just Zlatan and Maicon. They were the only two
Correct.
players who carried that team to the league title. I don't know. I mean, this year he's given a lot of speeches. There's been a lot on the pitch. I don't know the impact. Off the pitch, there's been an impact.
Off the pitch,
because
yeah.
all
Off the
the
pitch.
young players, they look up to him, and he has that the swagger, the belief. So absolutely, I think off the pitch, he's been fantastic this year.
मेरा मतलब वही एडिशन है यार. I think him and Giroud complemented each other beautifully. तो मैं एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रहा था. I had actually called it नहीं. AC Milan has made a mistake by actually having Zlatan and Giroud at the same time. Both are not very dissimilar at the same time यार. मतलब again, Zlatan के साथ ego issues आएंगे to some point. और Giroud at this point in time is fitter, is better. ठीक है. तो maybe Zlatan will not like the fact that Giroud starting more games. लेकिन क्या किया ना, मतलब purely has to be given kudos यार. Absolutely. क्योंकि भाई तो क्या first few games he got Zlatan, ठीक है. Then the moment Zlatan was injured, boom, चलो Giroud अभी आओ. और then Giroud proved, वो भी you have to give to him as well. And then he kept his pace, towards the second half. And Giroud, I think he's got about 14 goals if I'm not wrong. Both the guys. And Zlatan also got, I think, a handful of goals. So if you see, you're talking about 20 plus goals in there. Or that's what you want to win the title. So I would say on the pitch, arguably there has been a contribution for sure. Obviously, he's not having that kind of expertise right now to do it by himself.
And that's because of injuries, that age factor, the injuries. But for him to sort of give that mentality, I mean, these young guys, and you mentioned Giroud, and when Giroud was injured, they had Rebic at that part of the season where Rebic could do no wrong, So I mean, everybody's played. It's been a team effort. Everybody's played their part at AC Milan. It's not like, yes, everybody will talk about Leao, but I think Rebic, Zlatan, Giroud have all contributed, in their manner to the league title.
अरे यार मैं रोकना चाहूंगा यार. कम ऑन यार, अच्छा गेम चल रहा है काफी. रोमा बीटिंग फायनेड 1-0 एज अ स्टैंड. 43 मिनट्स हो गए मेरे क्लॉक पे, with obviously the great pass by Mancini, the young Mancini, and of course the great goal as in by Zaniolo. I would say very very important goal, historic goal. लेकिन ना talking about that, come on, close to 25 people watching और काफी देर से चल रहा है, करीबन 1 घंटा हो गया. Let's actually have more likes. Come on, let's not go like a broken record every stream भाई. Come on, मैं ये करने वाला हूँ, एक रिकॉर्ड करके रखने वाला हूँ, ये बीच बीच में चला दूंगा नेक्स्ट टाइम से. लेकिन it really helps. Great that you guys are there. Certainly much love to you all. लेकिन भाई लाइक दबा दीजिए, पैसे नहीं लगते उसके. हाँ, सुपर चैट ऑप्शन है, वो आपकी मर्जी है, बट लाइक मैं तो बोलूंगा भाई कर दीजिए बस. दैट्स पार्ट ऑफ बीइंग इन द इन द शो. क्योंकि अगर आप लाइक करो तभी आप देख रहे हो, अगर लाइक नहीं करते तो देखते क्यों, राइट? आई एम गेसिंग दैट. अगेन, मोर देन 30 पीपल वाचिंग. लेट्स लाइक द स्ट्रीम और लेट्स गेट द लाइक राइट अवे. डबल कर दीजिए भाई. लेट्स गेट द लाइक्स अप डबल एंड चेक आउट श्रेय एफसी भी, बिकॉज ही इज, trust me, this guy knows a lot, be it football, be it cricket. This guy needs more love. So देखिए नीचे श्रेय एफसी चैनल है, जाकर आप सब्सक्राइब करिए. It'll mean a lot to me, right? So let's do that. यार केन और कांटे की बात कर लेते हैं क्विकली, लाइक हाफ टाइम अप्रोचेस. तो फर्स्टली कांटे का यार भाई श्रेय आपको देगा. मतलब अगेन 2023 कॉन्ट्रैक्ट गेट्स ओवर. हाँ, कांटे का कैंप ने बोला है काइंड ऑफ they might be open. Kante also body language says that we'll see वाला बोला है. This compared to last year's, but yeah, he's not 100%. Tuchel having said that has said कि नहीं, he's our Salah, he's our De Bruyne, whoever you call it. So basically with that statement is clear, if Burley doesn't back Tuchel or Tuchel wants Kante, he will get extended, right? Or at least offer तो रहेगा.
आई थिंक अंकित भाई कई बार ये भी होता है कि मैनेजर्स कहना कुछ और चाहता है. कई बार ये भी होता है कि थोड़ा सा कई बार होता है नहीं, ओनर्स टू शो ओनर्स दैट वी आर इन अ बिग प्रॉब्लम, सो दे मेक सम स्टेटमेंट्स व्हिच आरंट ट्रू. बिकॉज विद कांटे द प्रॉब्लम इज ही इज अ डे ब्रूने, ही इज अ वैन डाइक, अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट प्लेयर, बट ऑन हिज डे how much time can he be fit? That's the problem. Ankit bhai, he cannot play at an intensity at 50 games a season. He can
और
only
रूई
play.
पैट्रिशियो ने हगा यार, सॉरी रूई पैट्रिशियो हैड अ
Yeah.
हगाफाइंग मोमेंट एक सेकंड के लिए, लेकिन बच गया. लकीली देयर वाज अ रोमा डिफेंडर टू क्लियर. बट अगेन लाइक आई एम सॉरी टू कट यू देयर श्रेय, मैं बस उतना ही ऐड करूंगा. देखो एक चीज, आई एग्जैक्टली गेट योर पॉइंट दैट यू आर बिहाइंड योर प्लेयर. लाइक से फॉर एग्जांपल ही वुडंट डू व्हाट रैगनिक डिड टू मार्शियल. जस्ट कंपैरिजन दे रहा हूं, नथिंग अगेंस्ट मैन यूनाइटेड फैंस, बट वो पहले याद आया तो पहले बोल दिया. ठीक है, Kante is totally different. First of all, he's a lovable guy. Secondly, he is already, I would say, in the legend category for Chelsea. He is. Let's get it right. Okay, he is already reaching that Makelele category of midfielders for Chelsea ever. तो despite having this season, जिसने मैंने काफी बार बोला है वॉच अलोंग उसमें, नहीं, Kante has been missing. He has been missing, or in fact, not only missing. There have been moments where he's given away the ball, which has led to goals directly. But at the same time, would you even think about it, like in case we don't get a better midfielder, like today, आप Jorginho versus Kante versus Loftus-Cheek सोचोगे, I know 3 different players altogether, all 3. लेकिन in terms of starting for the game, अगर सब fit है, you will still play Kovacic and Kante. क्या बोलोगे उसके बारे में?
Ankit bhai, on Kante the problem is, जैसे आपने बिल्कुल कहा, I still believe that next season Kovacic is above him, way above him, as much as
हाँ,
it hurts
Kovacic
me
is
to say
above them,
this.
लेकिन दो लोग तो खेलेंगे ना midfield में.
And I think the problem is, Ankit bhai, I still believe that people might disagree, but Jorginho has a more longevity of a career than Kante, because Jorginho plays at a very
the
slow
way he
pace.
plays.
The way he plays, his Jorginho is a player that relies on his register role, his play from the back. Kante, I think if you remember, Macaulay 5 or 6 years back, Macaulay said that even he had to in his career slow down at a particular point to long his career. With Kante, he can, like, you remember, Ankit, by people used to say half of the earth is covered Kante and the other one is the simple earth. That's what
हाँ, हमने
Kante
बोला था यार
was.
last season.
But no, Kante now he cannot run like that. I think against Real Madrid is the best example that sadly our own Kante has finished. He can do it in 6 games, 7 games, 8 games, but not 50 games. And Ankit bhai, he's our highest paid player at 290k per week. That's a lot. 290k per week is a lot for 32, 33, 31, 32-year-old player when we have defense to sort out, when extending the contract of Mount, James. And I don't want us to be in a problem in the future. And if Kante is also saying we'll see, I think it's better. We have to part ways with one of Jorginho and Kante. We can't have both.
हाँ,
Gallagher is
that I
coming.
agree. In
We
fact,
cannot have both.
I'll go one step further, that we have to part ways with 2 out of the 3 of Jorginho, Kante, and Loftus-Cheek. And that it pains me to say it. मैंने बोला है, but I'll ask यहाँ पर obviously Fateh is there. He's kind of watching a lot of Champions League football as well. But firstly, Fateh, by the way, meanwhile half time होने वाला है 1-0. This question ले लेते हैं यार, ये question है मानव का. Thoughts on Scamacca? I think he's talking about Gianluca Scamacca of Sassuolo. Sassuolo हमने cover ही किया था last game में. तो they play attacking football. Maybe that is one of the reasons why 16 goals. Or you would just give the guy the credit.
No, I think he's the next big Italian hope. He's had his moments even in the under 20s, and so I mean he's the big Italian hope because if you look at the Italian national team, strikers have just not been coming. I think the last great Italian striker is maybe Balotelli, Euro 2012. Since then,
in terms of like wow factor, you're saying, no?
Yeah, the wow factor has not been there. I mean, we're used to having these great players, the Tottis, Del Piero, Vieris, Inzaghi's, and now suddenly it's just Immobile. Immobile has not been able to do it for the national team. So there's a lot of hope on Scamacca. He's done well. I mean, it's a very attacking team, Sassuolo. They have these 2 guys, Raspadori and Scamacca. Both Raspadori is the little guy, the creator, and Scamacca is the finisher. So, I mean, they've had a good partnership. He's doing well. Now, whether he's ready to take the step up, because like, in that comment, it was mentioned, Origi is coming. So they'll have Giroud, Origi, probably Rebic. I don't know whether Zlatan retires, and then having Scamacca, can they actually, like, who's on the bench then? And I think so. I think Scamacca needs more time. However, with the way the market is going, I think one of the Milanese teams are going to go for him. So Inter will link, but right now we don't want to sell Lautaro Martinez. So if we are not selling him, then it's on AC Milan. If AC Milan want to go for him,
domino effect हो जाएगा थोड़ा.
Yeah, it could be. So let's see. I mean, who buys him? Is
अरे
it
half
wise?
time हो गया यहाँ पर. Half
Is
time
it
is
wise?
done.
Because Scamacca, they'll ask for 35-40 million. On the other hand, Belotti is free. So it's really interesting.
After Belotti's recent जो हुआ था last major tournament में, I don't think many clubs will be there. मतलब he has kind of gone down in terms of the value generally. जो Belotti burst onto the scene. But again, people halftime is done. I know a lot of people जो late join किए. I'm hoping everyone has subscribed to our channel and Almighty Sports Plus. We are very close to 3K वहाँ पर. Hopefully we can do that. It is tagged below and same goes for Shrey FC. Come on, let's do that. And this comment means a lot, and that's what tells you basically it's about more the quality of the people that are there in the chat as well, which we really respect. And of course, you guys are here patiently listening to us. हाँ हम थोड़े slow है, थोड़े old school है, but we love being that. That's what the romanticism comes in football. Or football, I really believe it's a romantic sport, and that's why I love discussing with these guys on panel as well. Yeah, three of you guys have been brilliant. Even your disagreements have a proper argument to support it. I wish my friends are more like you guys. Again, you are a friend, bro. The persons who are kind of watching here are friends to us. So I know it's a watch along, just like a set of friends, and it's nothing else otherwise, right? But yeah, then again, people who are joining, do like the stream and put in your comments who will be that difference element in the second half. First half, again, just to kind of wrap it up, Fateh, pretty sure जोसे मोरिन्यो की टैक्टिक थी कि यार सक द प्रेशर, पहले 25 मिनट प्रॉपर एंड देन बैंग एक पास हुआ गोल.
And that's what Zaniolo allows, because he's a very special talent, a very special sort of player, not a forward, not exactly a midfielder behind Tammy Abraham. And it was very special the way he brought the ball down, just the little touch. So I mean that sort of flair is missing from Feyenoord right now. That special, that extra little thing that Feyenoord can have. They haven't had that at all, and I don't know what's on their bench. I mean, Jahan Baksh maybe, but yeah, I'm not so confident right now for Feyenoord.
Yeah. अरे यहाँ पर सादी भाई भी मैसेज कर रहे हैं मुझे, गुरुजी मैसेज कर रहे हैं, ब्रो आई एम टेलिंग यू इट्स आरसीबी टाइम. So everyone, again, just a reminder for people, especially cricket lovers out there, पता है what it is. And yes, it was a special win. तो इसीलिए यार फुटबॉल में बीच में तो बनता ही क्योंकि अभी ब्रेक टाइम है. So this is what it is. I am basically talking about this. That is RCB and just love for the club, man. Simply put, different level. Certainly, I have literally been in stadiums cheering for RCB when we were, clearly the worst team in IPL. So trust me, I'm that kind of crazy fan of RCB. But anyway, coming to this and Mourinho as well. Talking about striker, why not United go for Patson Daka? Because he's young. यार हर साल अगर प्लेयर्स मूव करने लगे तो क्या ही तो ट्रांसफर मार्केट होगा भाई. मतलब श्रेय, come on, यूनाइटेड को किसके लिए जाना चाहिए? Let's put the question in that way.
I think with United, Ankit bhai, if report has also come that they only have 120-130 million budget with player sales, and with United the player sales is not going to be good. Their players are absolutely awful this year, and the way they have played, I think they are just going to go for pennies. If I'm being very very honest, they won't attract higher price. Like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I really admired him at a particular time, but he has really gone down a level. And मेरे को नहीं लगता कि कोई इसके लिए 20-15 मिलियन से ऊपर पे करेगा, और वो भी कोई ब्राइटन हो सकती है, कोई नीचे वाली टीम हो सकती है. इवन ब्राइटन के पास लैम्प्टी है, तो वो क्यों अटेम्प्ट करेंगे वैन बिसाका के लिए? तो आई थिंक यूनाइटेड के लिए बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स है. उनके लिए डिफेंस सॉर्ट करनी है, उनकी मिडफील्ड सॉर्ट करनी है. पोग्बा फ्री एजेंट है, जा चुके हैं, मैटिस जा चुका है, तो स्ट्राइकर पे उनको स्पेंडिंग भी देखनी पड़ेगी. एंड आई थिंक हम ना ये चीजें देखते हैं, हम स्मार्ट स्पेंडिंग नहीं करते. यूनाइटेड का हमेशा ये चीज रही है, जो बड़ा नाम देखा ले लिया. पाटसन डाका कोई सेंस ही नहीं बनती when they already have young players like Rashford जो already up and down season चल रहे हैं. उनके दूसरे प्लेयर्स भी यंग है. अगर आपको पता होगा उन्होंने एमर डियालो पे 38 मिलियन स्पेंड करे थे, और पेलेस्ट्री पे 20 मिलियन स्पेंड करे थे. आई बिलीव उनके यूथ प्लेयर पे कोई पेलेस्ट्री नाम के लेके आए थे. 60 मिलियन के आपने यूथ प्लेयर पे पैसे स्पेंड करे है, डियालो एंड पेलेस्ट्री. अब तक उनको डेब्यू ही नहीं दिया अब तक. सो डाका को लेके आएंगे, व्हाट विल डू? पुट हिम ऑन द बेंच अगेन. सो यूनाइटेड नीड टू सेट देयर प्रायोरिटीज राइट. Ronaldo भी है, and Ronaldo will stay for 1 year. He is taking 450-460k wages. So सेंस ही नहीं बनती आई थिंक डाका को लाने की यूनाइटेड के लिए. उसका भी टाइम बर्बाद करने की बात होगी आई बिलीव फॉर पाटसन डाका, बिकॉज ही इज डूइंग वेरी वेल एंड ही इज गोइंग टू बी द हेयर टू जिमी वार्डी. सो आई थिंक इट डजंट मेक सेंस फॉर मी दिस मूव.
Let me actually get the emotions out of Fateh. Fateh, are Dumfries available? Denzel Dumfries.
Absolutely. For the right price. I was about to tell you when you were talking about the Dutch and Dumfries, when you mentioned the right wing back, somebody wrote, So for the right price, absolutely. And look, Dumfries has had a good season. He's really improved.
But he's fallen off. He's fallen off, no?
No, I don't think so. I think he's done very well. Like what he
मतलब
started
what
off
I
as.
found, is he maybe he was overplayed also thoda. Lekin
Yeah,
towards the
yeah,
end, you saw him kind of little
huffing and
bit
puffing.
fatigued in
Yeah,
second half.
absolutely. See, we have no bench. The problem for Inter Milan is if
Darmian tha.
yeah, absolutely. And but Damian under Conte was a different beast. Like you mentioned, Victor Moses and Alonso. Under Damian, Kandreva, Moses, Ashley Young, Damian, these guys were playing so
I
well.
think the
Like
difference है ना, तो I think
difference.
Inzaghi expects your wing back to actually attack more. That is the
Yeah,
way. Conte
absolutely.
का क्या था? It was more like a 50-50. So
50-50.
it's
Yeah,
a very, मतलब like I said, it's basically a left wing back going up. So it was, people say it's a 5 at the back. नहीं, it was like a
yeah,
4
yeah.
at the back. How I think Barcelona plays. Barcelona kind of have, without the ball they are 5 at the back, but if not they are 3 at the back.
Three at
So
the back.
like that I think है proper मेरे ख्याल से Conte का system. लेकिन you're right. As in maybe Dumfries, if Inter need the money.
Yeah, absolutely. Dumfries was bought for what, 12 plus 3, I think 15.
हाँ
Initially
काफी
we
cheap था, I remember that.
Yeah, and
16
initially
16 is what I
we
remember.
thought at most we thought 20-25 million. Now the season that he's had, 25 to 30 million is something that I think Inter Milan will accept. So, and if that happens, we get to keep Bastoni. That would be fantastic. Like, because if we can get rid of Dayfry and Dumfries, it's a no-brainer. Keep Bastoni, allow the others to go.
तो कौन है मतलब आपका, are you linked with anyone right now Inter Milan with wing backs? Because Perisic is
Not
if
as
he
such.
थोड़ा
Not as
बहुत
such. See, I think there is a hope that Perisic might play on the right, Gusens might play on the left, and then we
yeah
might get, yeah, that can actually work out. And then there is Darmian, and then there could be one or two free signings or loan signings that might come in from the Serie A, within the Serie A. Genoa, I think, have a player called Cambiaso as a left wing back. So so that's what the hope is. So let's see how that goes. But there has to be a bid for Dumfries. I really hope, because look, great player. I don't mind keeping him. But if you need money, I would rather keep Bastoni and Skriniar and sell Dumfries and Depay.
Fair enough. So Dhaka is successor to no one. His season has been appalling, 5 goals. By the way, I would like to say something here. देखो, lot of times we read too much into the goals, especially जो होता है ना, coming from different league to Premier League. Does anyone know कितने goals डीडियर ड्रॉगबा ने मारे थे फर्स्ट सीजन में द प्रीमियर लीग? जाके गूगल करिए, ठीक है? डीडियर ड्रॉगबा was absolutely frustrating in his first season in the Premier League. I'm talking about 2004-05. Yes, I'm talking about the season where हमने goals काफी मारे थे, जहां हमने एट कैंटर जीता था लीग. Yes, but he was so frustrating. मतलब he should have scored many more goals. और I am confidently telling you because trust me, मैंने हर मिनट देखा है उस सीजन का, ठीक है? तो इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि lot of times we are too soon to judge people who are coming from a different league. If you're really watching Leicester के matches, for example, every game ना where he has featured, I think वो spark लगा है. He has looked more of a spark than any other player on the pitch. और yeah, he has not got that run of games either. तो मतलब it's a little bit harsh, but I also get it. Like he's not been as good as what we are probably making out to be. But वही है. But for now, we are talking about जो kind of players who are not really your big names, who are affordable. लेकिन at the same time he won't move यार. वो एक साल के बाद move नहीं होने वाला because it's too soon to judge. And come on, let's be honest. Shrey, have you heard of people leaving Leicester early? I've not heard of, like, very hardly any few players maybe, right? Because they are happy at Leicester. I think Leicester, let's be honest, it's a good place to be. Be it anywhere. They are in a comfortable position as well. इतना pressure भी नहीं होता उनको. So I think they'll probably give him time. Still Mourinho, remember Mourinho said in EPL, if they kept the ball for more time, then they can take the ball like I take the win. Brilliant. Brilliant, man. क्या याद दिला दिया. Yes, absolutely. But Mourinho's quotes, मतलब, we can have, like, Fateh, actually let's do that, We can have an entire kind of a stream just on Mourinho's quotes.
And
Let's be honest,
what we've been talking about in Italy is he quoted football heritage. Do you remember? Like he said, I don't know
yeah,
for
of
what
course.
club he said that they don't have football
Man
heritage.
United का ही था ना शायद.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what they were saying about Roma, that before Mourinho there was no football heritage of winning in Europe, and now if they win a trophy, then suddenly there is that heritage that even Roma have a European trophy. So I mean it's amazing, and it's all down to Mourinho.
And वही फतेह ने बता दिया जवाब, लेकिन यार people in the chat, आप लोग बताइए, when was the last time Roma was in a big final? When was the last time Roma actually won a European trophy? I can't even remember. to be honest
They've
about
never
it.
won it. They've never won
They've
it. Yeah.
never won it, exactly. Or they have even been in major moments. I think probably Europe में सबसे major moment in recent times was the time when they beat Barcelona, that comeback.
Yeah.
Probably, or
In
maybe
their
you can
history,
say, uh-huh,
in their history, Ankit, they lost the 1984 final Champions League final to Liverpool in Rome on
mhm.
penalties, and in 1991 they lost the UEFA Cup final to Inter Milan. Those are the two finals that they made. Other than that, it's that semi-final, I think, to Liverpool when they beat Barcelona in the quarterfinals. That's it.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
never been.
अरे
I don't think.
चलो बेस्ट व्हाट्सएप स्टेटस का भी ले लेते हैं क्वेश्चन यार. जिडान पीएसजी, मतलब फ्रॉम व्हाट आई नो आज कुछ मीटिंग होने वाली थी. मीटिंग या इंटरव्यू समथिंग वाज गोना हैपन. आई एम नॉट श्योर यार. मैं नॉन स्टॉप स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ, आप लोग देख ही रहे हो. मैं ज्यादा न्यूज पढ़ा नहीं लास्ट 5 घंटों में. तो अगेन पीपल हु हैव रेड और फॉलो द टीयर वन जर्नलिस्ट, आप बोलिए. और यू कैन डायरेक्ट मी, मैं उनका ट्वीट शेयर कर सकता हूँ. लेकिन फ्रॉम व्हाट आई नो the Zidane to PSG probably looks very unlikely. मतलब that is what popular opinion is saying right now. I don't know, man. श्रेय क्या लग रहा है यार? PSG, Pochettino, what is his future?
I think sadly, Ankit by Pochettino, I think he will be sad, which is sad because first of all, मेरे को समझ ही नहीं उससे जॉब लिया है कि वो PSG का it never suited him. He could have gone for another club like प्रीमियर लीग में किसी क्लब में जा सकता था, डेवलप कर सकता था. उसकी गेम ही नहीं थी PSG जाने की. And he has spoiled his career, his reputation, and most probably now he's going to sacked in a bad way. But I think PSG fans के लिए as much as Mbappe को जो पावर मिली है वो बहुत गंदी है. But एक अच्छी चीज हुई है in my opinion, Leonardo has gone because he's the worst sporting director I have seen in my life. He has just taken PSG down as a club, and the reports that come out, the way PSG behave, the way he behaves is not
अरे
good.
रियल मैड्रिड के गेम के बाद याद है क्या न्यूज आई थी? मतलब दिस गाय अल खलीफी एंड लियोनार्डो went on into the referee box and did what not. भाई ये क्या दादागिरी चल रही, क्या चल रही? मतलब आई नो इन द पास्ट वी टॉकिंग अबाउट मोरिनियो, उसने भी किया है. बट Mourinho has kind of earned it, man. मतलब not that it's right, लेकिन the guy has been a legend of football. मतलब I know, Fateh, you have a point, I believe, इसमें.
See, look, Leonardo has also earned it. He's won the World Cup as a player in 1994.
नहीं,
Uh,
as a person of the management, like,
yeah,
has he
so
just
I mean, look,
doing that? Mourinho ने
Leonardo, I
manager
think,
के तरीके से किया है ना. What I'm trying to
yeah,
say.
yeah. But I mean, he's still a very big personality. I understand that of late, people in PSG are saying, well, Leonardo's not good, but I think he's been there for a very long time. Like, he was there initially from, I think, when they just had money, and he
He
brought
was
in
there.
all these star players, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, everybody, and they built PSG up. And then he left. I think he went to, there was a short span at AC Milan again. That didn't work out. And then, he came back. I think his first spell was very good. I mean, if you look at PSG, nobody really. I mean, okay, they had money, but you didn't really
But the way
expect.
they came up, the
Yeah,
way
the
they
way they
came up,
came up, okay, they
they were
had
not
money,
in the
but he
map.
brought in these guys, the Ibrahimovic's, the Cavani's, and whatnot. But now, obviously, I think he's had a lot of criticism. His
नहीं
attitude
नहीं,
is a problem.
I agree यार. चेल्सी में भी like, because मैं relate कर सकता हूँ. श्रेय probably will add on to that कि यार before Marina also we had a director Michael Emenalo. ठीक है,
Yeah,
माइकल
yeah,
एमेनालो ने लिटरली अपना जो है लोन आर्मी और लोन सिस्टम और वो सब बिल्ड किया था फ्रॉम स्क्रैच. और उस समय
yeah.
इतने लोग उसके पीछे थे कि भाई ये पैसा काइंड ऑफ बनाने वाला मशीन बना रहा है बस. ही इज नॉट बिल्डिंग अ क्लब. लेकिन आज के दिन में स्पेशली जब हम ट्रांसफर बैन में थे, if not for that loan army, we possibly, again मैं big statement कर रहा हूँ, we possibly could have been in relegation zone. ठीक है. Then even recently, अभी हुआ है obviously with the ownership, we have that still intact. और Michael Emenalo has built that. लेकिन वही है ना, you have to evolve. Even as a person in the
Yeah,
management, you have
yeah.
to evolve. Leonardo का वही है कि यार he kept that strategy on and on. और PSG के लिए, if he had, like for example, if he had convinced or kind of just kept Ancelotti during that period. I'm just playing a
Yeah.
devil's advocate here. मैं बोल रहा हूँ. Even I think who was it? Yeah, I think was it Laurent Blanc? Blanc was also there, if I remember right.
Yeah, yeah.
मतलब I believe they did pretty decently. but वही है, मतलब they had to work together for the future. वही है, with chopping and sacking. It has
I
worked
mean,
for Chelsea. It may not work with others.
yeah, and a lot of people, just say that Leonardo just looks at Serie A, whatever star comes up, he'll overspend for him, like Verratti happened, or Icardi, like going out, and Icardi only had that one good season, but then that's down to Icardi, not down to Leonardo. So I think it's the whole atmosphere at PSG. I think with I mean it's I don't know how much of it is Leonardo wanting Neymar and Messi and Mbappe. or it's just the owner because Qatar looks good. They have these stars, FIFA, the game, everybody knows, and the World Cup's coming. So I don't know what the philosophy is, what's going on there. Like even if you put Marina there, and the owner
Mhm.
says, "Well, no, I want Messi, Neymar, and Ronaldo to play together." I mean, Marina would not want that. I don't think
यार
any
यार
football person
एक
would want
सेकंड
that.
while we can go on and on about it, to be honest, Fateh, यहाँ पर मीनवाइल मैं चैट में कुछ कमेंट्स देख रहा हूँ, काफी बेसिकली काइंड ऑफ एंटी चैट्स आ रहे हैं, तो थोड़ा एड्रेस करना बनता है क्विकली बिफोर द सेकंड हाफ स्टार्ट्स. यार आप कहाँ से शुरू करूँ? सबसे पहले यार आई थिंक पैटसन डाक की बात हो रही थी यार. आई डोंट थिंक, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, ही वाजंट प्लेइंग एज अ को स्ट्राइकर फॉर मेनी गेम्स, एक तो है. और प्लस अगेन, इज इट 29 स्टार्ट्स? प्लीज करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम रॉन्ग. ठीक है अद्वै, अगेन मैंने जितना देखा है वो मुझे इम्प्रेस किया. दैट इज व्हाट इज माय ओपिनियन, बट इट्स टोटली फाइन भाई. आप अगर गोइंग बाय स्टार्ट्स, गो भाई, दैट्स आल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट. Mourinho वाला, हाँ, we'll go on that absolutely. And Roma have the best UEFA time when they beat Barca in comeback game. Yes, ये वाला यार. What's so tactical about Mourinho? He's a by-player manager. I don't get the craze for him. He got all the money from Roman to spend at Chelsea. Big deal. Very, very strong statement. Matata United, before I go to the panel, again, मैंने शायद address किया है. I'm not sure if you were there in the stream. Matata United. Again, nothing against the person commenting it. And it's nothing general ना. Even at Man United, because Matata United ने किया है first, वही मुझे मैं example देना चाहूँगा. I have gone on record. एक question था about ETH in the previous stream. Will ETH fit? उसने बताया theater of dreams and what not. We like to play football. Man United. भाई आप वो सब बोल दो, लेकिन pitch पर वो दिखाना मत यार. You don't need that. Man United right now, or what they needed in the last few years, are basically effective results. They needed a structure, a proper philosophy of football. ठीक है, जो Mourinho has got the DNA of Chelsea. मुझे मालूम है when we were a cup team, in the late 90s, we were everywhere on the pitch, and that was the problem of Chelsea. We had great stars. By the way,
Yeah.
for people who don't know, late 1990s में Fateh knows we signed a lot of great stars, a lot of them. And the reason why we did very well in cups, क्योंकि वो great stars in cup competitions उनका A game लाते थे, just like today's Chelsea team. But when Mourinho came, ठीक है, even under Ranieri, we were like, we shouldn't have lost that Monaco game, for example. He
Yeah.
brought structure. ठीक है, same thing in United. अरे गोल होने वाला है, hit the post.
Oh,
गोल हो गया. अरे
what a
भाई,
save.
what, and Patricio saving Roma, double save. I maybe मैंने jinx कर दिया भाई. What a double save by Patricio, man, I have to say. But yeah, just continuing with that mini rant, so to speak. United में what Mourinho has won at United in the last 7 years, 9 years, probably no manager has won. Think about it. It cannot be a coincidence. He is the most successful Chelsea manager that I have seen. Okay, he is the most successful manager in the last 8 years. So there cannot be a coincidence. Roma को आते ही वो जिता रहा है for a club that he spoke about who has never won. So it's not about just the tactics. It's about the persona that Mourinho is. पेनल्टी चेक हो रहा है क्या चीज के लिए?
Penalty check. And it's the mentality the mentality monster that Mourinho was back then. I mean, we're talking about Drogba, and you guys remember Carvalho, right? Like what a leader, and
या
Mourinho brought him. Like
करेक्ट. मैंने
that
एक्चुअली
defender.
रिसेंटली किया था यार. मैंने वही है ऑल टाइम 11 काइंड ऑफ थिंग इन व्हिच Carvalho should have been there, but it was check over,
Yeah.
no penalty, I believe. No
I
penalty,
mean,
right?
what a player that was, and we talk about him spending money at Chelsea, but to win it with Porto, nobody else since then has taken an
What is
underdog.
Porto यार? तो रिमेंबर, तो मुझे याद आ गया, मैं एक स्ट्रीम किया था रिसेंटली, द बेस्ट ट्रांसफर्स ऑफ ओवर 30 years of age इन फुटबॉल. ठीक है,
Yeah.
उसमें कार्वालियो को डाला था. When he like डाला नहीं था, sorry, but he was actually, yeah, I actually put him, yeah, on second thoughts I put him because उसने मूव किया था, I think from Chelsea to Real Madrid and then Real Madrid to Monaco. He was part of that Monaco side, plus उसने पोर्चुगल के साथ जीता भी था 2006 यूरोस, 2016 यूरोस.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Talk,
Wow.
talk about Carvalho's legacy. Or Mourinho got that belief in him because Carvalho, आपको याद है तो in the Porto days, he came across as a very shy guy. Okay, and then later on he kind of got dirty in the tackles and whatnot. Mourinho made that player in him. Or you can argue that again, Matata United, big up to you. The fact is, the guy is old school. The guy थोड़ा dinosaur football है, but I think इस season ही गवा यार. Shrey knows it यार. Real Madrid के साथ हम थे, Ancelotti. we were criticizing Ancelotti as opposition fans as well. Like at the end of the day, he's shown with those comebacks. So you have certain old school thoughts that are still important in today's day and age. What do you say?
आई थिंक पहले मैं ये बोलूँगा, हर एक की अपनी ओपिनियन होती है। आई थिंक मैं रिस्पेक्ट करता हूँ उनकी जो आइडिया है, क्योंकि मैं भी समझता हूँ शायद मोरिनियो उस टैक्टिकल रिगार्ड में नहीं माने जाते जैसे आजकल टैक्टिकल मैनेजर्स माने जाते हैं। क्योंकि मैं ये भी कहूँगा उस चार्ट के रिगार्डिंग कि मोरिनियो 2002-3 के एरा से मैनेजर है। आजकल के मैनेजर्स में रिसोर्सेज बहुत ज़्यादा है टैक्टिकल रिगार्डिंग में। परफॉर्मेंस एनालिस्ट है, रिक्रूटमेंट एनालिस्ट होते हैं, टीम के पास इतनी डिटेल्स होती है, उन मैनेजर्स के पास नहीं होती थी डिटेल्स इतनी। बट मोरिनियो मैं कहूँगा शायद टैक्टिकल इतना ना हो, लेकिन वो वन ऑफ द बेस्ट मोटिवेटर था जो हमने शायद अपने एरा में देखा हो।
और शिट हाउसरी
अंकित भाई, मैं एक चीज जरूर बोलूंगा, चेल्सी फैंस भी चैट में होंगे, कि अगर जोसे मोरिनियो ने वो
Oh,
मेंटालिटी
भाई साहब, what a save, man. Sorry,
रोमा ने मारा,
what a save.
Feyenoord shot.
Rui Patricio, I have no word for this guy, man. The guy has come back.
This final is just lit up right now.
Superb, man. What Feyenoord are literally belting Roma right now. Okay, as things stand. और what a shot, man. ये Feyenoord की टीम को स्काउट करो भाई अभी. मैं तो बोलता हूँ गोल हो गया इस बार. अरे नहीं, वो
सेव
what? Just man, tap in होता almost. Tap in होता नहीं सिक्सर. चलो छक्का मार दिया. गेम भाई, last 5 minutes have been so watchable. This second half, like Fateh said, यार अलग ही लेवल पहुंच गया है. Feyenoord की टीम आई है भाई. Roma team are there for the taking. और उनको पता चल गया क्या है मोरिनियो का. Again talking about Matata United and its comment, definitely भाई I agree with you one point कि Mourinho is a little bit too negative for today's day of football. हाँ, लेकिन again maybe in cup football that's what may work.
Yeah, cup football. Like when I hear PSG want to win the Champions League, and we were talking, Shay was talking about Pochettino. Why not, PSG hiring Mourinho? Like, why not PSG hiring Mourinho to win the Champions League? Like, in a year or two, why not?
अरे पता नहीं क्या हुआ यार, यहाँ पर टाइमी इब्राहिम क्यों रो रहा था पता नहीं. I'm not sure, but giving EPM manager of the season to Klopp for what? ये मैंने और श्रेय ने डिस्कस किया था यार. फतेह को पूछते हैं यहाँ पर यार. अगेन फतेह for someone who looks at EPL as an outsider, like at times for big games at least, like where do you rate Klopp's style of management versus like maybe a Pep or even a Mourinho of the recent years?
See, I think we talked about man motivation, and you said Mourinho was great for that. Klopp's also great for that. But again, the comment that now look, if Pep has won the league and you're saying that Klopp is the best manager of the league, that sort of doesn't really, because I think Pep's been leading the league since I don't know, for what, 4-5 months.
हाँ मतलब it's been a long time, लेकिन वही ये बहुत narrow lead है.
Narrow lead था, but he never really lost it. Like they were always there. Like Pep was always
there was one weekend वहाँ पर. I remember 2 weekends almost where Liverpool had the upper hand. Lekin again, that was basically in a span of 5 months, like you said. Like that's true.
But again, man, I would not, I would not get into that debate. I think Klopp and Pep are both probably the two best managers in the world right now. I mean, along with say Ancelotti, Tuchel, and why not?
Yeah. चलो यार, यहाँ पर मैंने काफी कमेंट्स लिए. अगेन पीपल लाइक एवरीवन वाचिंग यार, मैं बोल नहीं रहा हूँ तो यार मतलब आप लोग भी भूल जा रहे हो साथ में. पता नहीं यार, स्क्रीन में डालता हूँ मतलब फॉर अ रीजन सो दैट यू गाइस कैन सी इट एंड लाइक द स्ट्रीम. बट होपफुली यू गाइस टेक नोटिस एंड इट्स मोर रेगुलर बिकॉज इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ अ ड्रिल. यहाँ पर नहीं, फाउल हो गया. चलो कोई नहीं. रोमा आर काइंड ऑफ रियली जस्ट लिविंग बाय द स्किन ऑफ द टीथ. लेट्स लाइक द स्ट्रीम यार. 24 ऑफ यू आर वाचिंग. लेट्स गेट दिस नंबर टू 48. और कैसे हो सकता है? वो ऐसे हो सकता है कि आप लोग सब लोग जो लोग लाइक नहीं किए ना स्ट्रीम को, लाइक करिए अभी. जस्ट गिव अ थम्स अप, हिट दैट थम्स अप बटन और लाइक हो जाएगा एट नो कॉस्ट, सो दैट मोर पीपल ऑन यूट्यूब आर नोटिफाइड कि भाई यहाँ पर एक चल रहा है स्ट्रीम वेयर देयर आर पीपल हु लाइक इटालियन फुटबॉल एज वेल, और वो लोग कवर कर रहे हैं कंटेंट एंड ऑफ कोर्स Mourinho lovers and Dutch football lovers as well. So yeah, this is a special stream and a special panel, I would like to say. Yes, so let's do that, or do follow Almighty Sports Plus because we are doing daily content वहाँ पर भी. Not just football, we do cricket as well वहाँ पर, but mainly football वहाँ पर continue होगा. Just playoff से तो चल रहा है, लेकिन हाँ, श्रेय FC का चैनल भी चेक करिए भाई प्लीज. टैग है नीचे. And Fateh, like all who have been watching for a long time, you know that he kind of knows this stuff inside out, so he's always here and I'm pretty sure you guys are liking it. So let's like the stream. Ankit Klopp, best manager from the panel, after his home and away win against Man United, वो देख के ही मिल गया अवार्ड. यार आप आर्सेनल नहीं हो, एक तो लिवरपूल आर मच बेटर. No, nothing against Arsenal, so you don't want to judge your season on those two games. But I hear you, so Syed, nahi. Mourinho took a relatively unknown Porto to win UCL. Again, great player but great manager, of course. Inter under him was so solid. हाँ, I think Fateh यहाँ पर है. Fateh will be the perfect guy to tell that. If people remember, Shrey, I don't know if you remember, it was basically an Ancelotti side with which Mourinho beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was prime Chelsea, and I literally mean that
I-
was prime Chelsea. Okay?
Because guys, people keep talking like it's been mentioned the Barca team. For me, the best Inter performance ever that I have experienced as a kid from the late 90s when I started following till today is the game at Stamford Bridge. I did not expect Inter to play that well.
We didn't have a chance, Fateh. We
I
didn't have a
know.
chance.
And Drogba, Ballack, Malouda, Lampard, that was such an amazing Chelsea team. And I did not expect that. I thought we are going to the bridge. It's going to be a typical Inter collapse. We're not going to be able to go ahead. And I thought that Mourinho is going to get sacked. Like that's how it was. Because last year, if you remember, we were knocked out by Manchester United in 2009. And that game was, we were not even in the contest. It was that bad. I mean, the gulf in quality. So for
Yeah,
Mourinho to
yeah.
do that, I mean, he's hats off to him.
Yeah, yeah. Again, yeah, a lot of people watching here. Malab, again, I don't want to be repeating it every 2 minutes. I'm kind of going like a broken record. But again, even after me kind of requesting you, like super nahi, but I can see a lot of people joining in. So hopefully, if people joining are liking any bit of the stream, or even if not, do encourage us so that we get to more viewership, we get more feedback. It certainly is welcome. So yeah, like the stream. हम मैं देख रहा हूँ यहाँ पर likes 50 likes पर भी नहीं पहुंचे यार भाई, come on. We are going on for 100 like what 100 plus minutes already. So let's have more likes, people. Certainly helps. Don, Carlo, and Jose are great managers, different from each other, but classy managers and winners. Yes, absolutely agree there. Bhai Mourinho always gave me laugh. Mkhitaryan substitute हो गया तो बंदा मार्कर और पेपर लेके टैक्टिक्स ड्रॉ करने लगा असिस्टेंट के साथ. अरे उसका जॉब नहीं है वो, पार्ट ऑफ द जॉब, राइट? But I know what you're saying. Is kind of hilarious at times. His body language is to an opponent, especially. Tuchel, why? Remember, was it FA Cup final? Shrey, जहाँ पर Tuchel came out with a board before the penalty shootouts.
No, that was I think against Real Madrid. I think in extra time he came.
Extra
when
time.
Second
Okay,
extra
okay.
time. When we were Real Madrid went through, it was 105 minutes after extra time, and I
और
think
तभी हमने हागा.
No. It was after Benzema goal, second half of
अच्छा,
extra
second half
time.
में भी क्या ही तो कर लिए थे हम extra time में, second half में.
We had chances, Ankit, by Havertz header. I think that was.
अरे तो वही तो बोल रहा हूँ मैं. We had chances. Did we finish? Where do you want to see
Ankit,
Messi
by
in 2023?
that night still gives me
Yeah.
tears,
We don't want
man.
to
We
kind
were
of go the wrong route here. Don't worry. We are talking about the Conference League final, Ravi. It just came up, yeah. But again, yeah, Syed, I know exactly आप जो बोल रहे हैं. But what do you want? Where do you want to see Messi in 2023? भाई, maybe again थोड़ा old school है, लेकिन मैं तो बोलूँगा भाई PSG रहो. I think the fact, I know a lot of people like the neutrals kind of almost, I would say, strong word, people hate PSG, the oil clubs and all those things. But I don't know, yeah. In a strange way, Champions League has become far more exciting because of those PSG crazy games. I know I'm saying something out of the blue. Like, such hai, even if you see the stats. Fateh, don't you agree?
I do agree. Like PSG, I've seen PSG in the late 90s. They didn't have money. The Ronaldinho era, they didn't have money, but they had some special players here and there. One of those was JJ Okocha, who went to Bolton, and what a fantastic player he was. So Messi, where I want to see Messi, I want to see him back in Argentina.
Man, Fateh, you missed it, man. I don't
No,
know
that
which
is
player that was. I think, I hope Chelsea scouts are on this, man. I know Eric Ten Hag is watching this game because being Feyenoord. Lekin, I'm pretty sure this Feyenoord team needs to be scouted like now. Man, they are playing football, and what, man? They are like leta diya yaar, bhai. I think it was Pellegrini, if I'm not wrong. The guy fell on the floor.
Yeah,
This Feyenoord team can play football.
yeah.
Okay, Smalling with a nice dive, by the way, typical English
It's
dive.
a lot of
But
last ditch defending by Roma.
अरे क्या बहुत
But
लड़ाई चल रही है टच लाइन में.
but why don't you guys believe, shouldn't Messi go back to Argentina, give back something to that league, him going
जाएगा
there,
यार, but
and
isn't he fit? He's fit enough to play another couple of seasons in the top 5 leagues, I feel. नहीं?
no, but I think he should go thoda sa in, show his
In his
prime to
prime.
Argentina. Those fans, that
Like,
fan culture that is
और
there in
एक
Argentina.
मैराडोना एलिमेंट भी दिखाए थोड़ा, मतलब fair
Yeah,
enough.
I think Maradona went to Boca in 95 or something.
Yeah. मतलब there was a lot of question कि he should have kind of spent a lot of money. और यहाँ पर होने वाला गोल लग रहा है फाइनल का, लेकिन somehow रोमा बचा लेती है. I don't know, that was like schoolboy defending, but somehow still about it. Ibanez, who is this guy? Okay, नहीं, Smalling again, man. Smalling is doing his typical English. Oh, नहीं, Ibanez था last वाला. बढ़िया डिफेंडिंग. यार एक बहुत बार आ गया, स्पैम मत करिए भाई. कनाव पसी जो भी आपका नाम है, प्लीज यार. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू ज्वाइन करने के लिए. होप आप सब्सक्राइब हो. स्पैम मत करिए, क्योंकि बहुत मुश्किल से मैं कमेंट्स में आता हूँ नीचे और फिर वही सेम कमेंट आता रहता है. कम ऑन यार, बाकी लोग गाली देंगे मुझे. It's so frustrating to see Mourinho reaching an European final with Roma with the coaching staff that is provided to him at Spurs. दर्द होता है. हाँ, Spurs fan man. Daniel Levy. अरे क्या लॉजिक क्या थी यार डैनियल लीवी को मूरिन्यो को सैक करने की एक दिन पहले? क्या था स्टे? मतलब व्हाट आर द एक्चुअल रिपोर्ट्स? आई नो लॉट ऑफ रिपोर्ट्स फेल दैट डे.
I think Ankit bhai, as much as I've listened to some Tottenham fans, some Tottenham podcasts and everything, I think the thing is he did not rate Mourinho that highly. I think with Conte you are seeing them already increase the capital. उन्होंने already 150 million भी बढ़ा दिया अपने बजट में. Like they're scared of Conte. Like they're उनको ये है कि Conte चलेगा, we'll have problems. With Mourinho, I think sadly they did not rate as highly as Conte, which is sad. He did deserve that backing, but I think Levy only used Mourinho, which is sad to say, for the Amazon Prime documentary, for that big name that Spurs have got. Because Spurs, when Mourinho was appointed, had a different attraction. Like rival fans, we did not used to talk about Spurs a lot. It was the Sky Spurs rivalry. There was not a lot because Spurs were a nice team. Pochettino, beautiful football, Kane, Son, Ali, beautiful team. Now there was nastiness about them, which people have not seen. Amazon Prime document, everybody watched that. But it was Pochettino, nobody would have watched that. That's the reason I think they brought Mourinho sadly, and they had a big part in his downfall. But I think with Conte, they are scared, and you can see Levy's backing him, even from the above.
अरे गोल होने वाला है, मुझे लग रहा है फाइनोर्ड का गोल होने वाला है. पता है क्या लग रहा है भाई? इतना अटैक करके एक गोल तो मारना ही चाहिए. काइंड ऑफ ऑलमोस्ट दे डिजर्व. But Mourinho's tactics
I
was...
think it's coming, yeah.
Oh man, what was that? Feyenoord, man. If people are not scouting this Feyenoord team, I don't know what they're doing. Trust me, they have gotten Roma to fall on the ground like already umpteen number of times.
And 30 minutes are left, Ankit. Like 30 minutes are left, and already Roma are just...
Man, it's Roma getting nervous firstly, but I have to give it to Feyenoord, man. The kind of football they're playing, despite Roma इतना physical होने के बाद, इतना tackles देने के बाद, they are avoiding the tackles and भाई इतना smoothly, they are making their players fall to the ground, man. मतलब ये players है कौन भाई? एक के मतलब these guys deserve a shout out, man. Orsnes, by the way, Orsnes is the guy. I think he's a midfielder. Again, people who know about Orsnes, बोलिए थोड़ा, मुझे तो पता नहीं, like I'll be honest. लेकिन हाँ, I just know basically a couple of players that decently do well in the Europa League or the Conference League every year, right? Like, I think Orsnes is the guy. He's the guy of Senesi. He's a ball playing centre half, from what I understand. Chalo koi nahi. Brian Cristante has been good under Mourinho. Couple of really solid performances. Defensively good and precise passer with good carries. Yeah. What are the kind of players you would say are Fateh? Maybe this player as well as
Cristante did not have a defensive game. He was somebody who sort of had a good game going forward, but he struggled, with in the defensive half. Mourinho's kept him in that same position. I mean, he's ensured that Cristante has to play, and that's why they bought Oliveira, because they didn't have a pure DM, and Cristante was being used there, and it was not really working out in the earlier part of the season.
Oliveira can also be, kind of a dual kind of a player. No, he can kind of go forward as well as
yeah.
He's a good
So
tackler.
it's the same with Cristante, and I mean, he's a good, decent player, but I think they could make a step up. Like he's been criticized a lot too, because like you can see right now, Roma's midfield is non-existent. Like Feyenoord are totally bossing it. So yeah.
सो शायद के दो कमेंट्स, एक तो है टिप्पणी आपके बोका जूनियर्स कमेंट पर, लेकिन दूसरा है वाइनाल्डम भाई। अगेन मतलब मे बी आई एम बायस्ड, मैं तो यार ऑफ द रिकॉर्ड बोला हूँ काफी बार, आई थिंक प्रॉब्ली लाइव भी बोला होगा, द फैक्ट कि जब लिवरपूल साइन की थी ना वाइनाल्डम को, I think that was one of the most biggest regrets for me as a Chelsea fan. कि यार, why aren't Chelsea scouts going for a player like Wijnaldum? What he did with Newcastle, if you remember, that madness season him and Sissoko had. After that, if you're not buying a player like Wijnaldum, जब आपका Ramirez is ending your career at Chelsea, he could do everything plus score goals. So what Ramirez could do. So why not you get Wijnaldum? Like, and again, for me, आई थिंक इट्स लिवरपूल्स लॉस मोर देन वाइनाल्डम लूजिंग। और आप देखो लिवरपूल अभी लिंक हो रही है काफी मिडफील्डर्स के साथ। वाइनाल्डम, आई नो लिवरपूल हैव बीन फैंटास्टिक, लेकिन आई थिंक वाइनाल्डम इट्स जस्ट अ फेज, आएगा जस्ट लाइक मेसी। आई फील सेकंड सीजन में आई फील पीएसजी में करेगा अच्छा। लाइक आई डोंट नो श्रेया वाइनाल्डम को आपने देखा है ईपीएल में काफी, द काइंड ऑफ प्लेयर ही इज, नो रीजन व्हाई ही शुडंट सक्सीड एट पीएसजी, नो।
I think Ankit bhai, you absolutely took words of my mouth. Because when he was in Newcastle, he was scoring goal after goal. I cannot forget the Norwich game where I think it was Newcastle 6, Norwich 2, around some score like that, and he scored a hat trick, I believe. Like he was a very good midfielder. At Liverpool, Ankit bhai, if you'll see his role change, he was not a goal scorer. He was used as a powerhouse midfielder because Liverpool play with 4-3-3, and Trent and Robertson are given insane amount of freedom because Klopp relies on crossing games. So Trent, Robertson. So at that time, I think Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Henderson was a beast of a midfield. They won Liverpool matches after matches, matches after matches. I remember 2 seasons back, this Liverpool side has been better than the title winning side. This has been more scarier Liverpool side. I remember Ankit by that Liverpool side was frustrating as heck. 1-0 victory, 2-0 victory, 1-0 victory, 2-0 victory. And Wijnaldum was superb. The Barca performance was mind blowing. Chelsea would have done wonders with this. 25 million from Newcastle was an
अच्छा,
absolute bargain.
एक सेकेंड, तो देयर इज अ इम्पोर्टेंट मोमेंट इन द गेम, तो लाइक आई थिंक फतेह ने हिंट किया भी था, him getting Spinazzola for Zalewski, I think is a major moment. Clearly, I think we are talking about experience here, क्योंकि वो moment आ गया है फतेह, and I think what about worked out, man? This guy was really, kind of one of a time, बोला था he can be the next big thing, but again, he has kind of not been there. But लेकिन वही है, people with tackles, you would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's been in and out, and I think what this means now is that with Zaniolo gone, we're not going to see Roma attack at all. I mean, yeah, they're going forward here, but you know, very defensive. And I think he just told Sergio Oliveira to get back. So I think Oliveira is going to be sitting even deeper now. So very interesting, man. Mourinho realizes, see, this is the thing. They've been outplayed, and Mourinho has been proactive. I mean, he's made a defensive sort of, like you said, Spinazzola experience. So he's made that defensive substitution, and I hope it doesn't bite him. Come back to bite him.
नहीं, डेफिनेटली, या दिस इज द गाय। मैंने ट्रांसफर वीडियो में भी कवर किया था प्रथम, और बाय द वे मैंने प्रथम आपका पहला कमेंट भी देखा, काफी एक्साइटिंग कमेंट है और काफी फनी है, तो यू हैव अ गुड सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर प्रथम, आई मस्ट से। लेकिन मलेशिया, आई थिंक ऑफ फायनूर्ड, लेफ्ट बैक लिंक टू यूनाइटेड फ्रॉम अ लॉन्ग टाइम, आई डोंट नो, लाइक he has done very well as well, लेकिन वही है, मुझे तो लगा यार इट्स द मिडफील्डर इन दिस पर्टिकुलर गेम, it is Orsnes. Orsnes has been running the show, or that is a clear reason why I think Workout has come, and Fateh ne bola about Zaniolo not being able to keep up with that kind of, as in people on the pitch. यहाँ पर कुछ और लेते हुए, आज राजा नाइंगोलन याद आ रहा है यार, again one of those players, maybe that came because of the cigar comment for Mourinho, because he is again like a Sari, known for it, infamous for something. But you know what I mean, right? Again, Chelsea was talking about Spinazzola. What happened to that? By I think injury ho gayi thi na, Shrey, because of that,
Yeah.
Chelsea had to drop that strongly. Again, I always feel, yeah, international tournaments hype up people a bit too much. Not that Spinazzola is bad; he's really good. Lekin he wouldn't have fitted the Chelsea system anyway. मतलब we wanted a person who's really that outward kind of trajectory person. मतलब हमें already इतना narrowness थी, so we wanted someone there, or we are just happy that Chilwell is back. I know it would, in hindsight, it could have worked considering Chilwell's injury. लेकिन वही, I think at that time it would have been surplus. या शायद जैसे मैंने बोला इफ जीतेंगे तो व्हाई नॉट मैन, व्हाई नॉट, हु नोस। यार ये पीटर ड्यूरी कॉन्फ्रेंस लीग में कमेंट्री कर रहा है। इंटरेस्टिंग। कौन से, सोनी में कर रहा है? प्रथम बोलिए। या डोंट स्पैम शायद, थैंक यू, बट यू नो व्हाट आई मीन। बट हाँ सॉरी यार श्रेय, मैंने आपको रोक दिया था। आप काफी, आई थिंक वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट वाइनाल्डम एंड द मिडफील्ड ऑफ पीएसजी इन।
अंकित भाई, वाइनाल्डम का मैं सिर्फ यही कह रहा था कि वाइनाल्डम लाइक द वे ही इंप्रूव एट लिवरपूल एंड मूव मुझे समझ पे आया। आई थिंक इन हाइंडसाइट मैं आपसे थोड़ा सा डिसएग्री करता हूँ कि आई थिंक लिवरपूल के बेनिफिट में चले गया ये उनका जाना, क्योंकि हावी एलियट को अब चांसेस मिल गई है। आई
चांसेस
थिंक
मिल
हावी
गया, हाँ,
एलियट चांसेस
इवेंट
मिल
से
गए, एंड एलियट इज अ वेरी टैलेंटेड प्लेयर। आई थिंक वाइनाल्डम वेजेस बहुत डिमांड कर रहा था, एंड आपने लिवरपूल में देखा होगा कि उनका वेज स्ट्रक्चर इज मैग्निफिसेंट। लाइक Trent is literally, I think, 2 times less on wages than Kepa Arrizabalaga at Liverpool. Like ये वे स्ट्रक्चर है हमारे यहाँ पे। बेंच कीपर इज अर्निंग 200 to 250K, while ट्रेंट मेरे ख्याल से 100 के भी ज्यादा ऊपर नहीं है। मेरे को ये भी नहीं पता कि शायद 100 से नीचे है। तो लिवरपूल ने कहा नहीं, हम इतनी वेजेस नहीं देंगे। वाइनाल्डम सेड गो। उनके पास हावी एलियट है, कर्टिस जोन्स है।
if you take the wages into consideration, so I absolutely get your point, because you rather have a Harvey Elliott performing rather than give Wijnaldum so much, and then plus वो जो है मतलब लास्ट में पता ही लग गया था, the crowd of Liverpool, he felt that he was not loved despite me actually hearing बहुत सारे Liverpool fans actually loved the guy, like it was kind of strange to hear from him. लेकिन again मैं तो वही मतलब maybe I'll be talking like a layman, like how like a layman who just follows football, इतना क्या आपको बेसिकली काइंड ऑफ पता नहीं खा जा रही कि वॉट आ रही कि अबाउट पैसे, यार आपके पैसे नहीं है। ऑनेस्टली मैं बोलूँ तो मतलब जस्ट आउट देयर, मतलब just as a player, I'm just talking about player quality and the guy what he brought to Liverpool as a team. Liverpool wouldn't have even thought of kind of going for the second midfielder, और इतना अच्छा किया I think down to the management, down to the players. But think about it, Liverpool also compared to last season वो तो होना ही था, लेकिन this season they were also luckier for injuries. अगर होता by chance एक भी, I think they would have been a really bad spot in midfield, because we remember as in they didn't have I think Naby Keita for a couple of weeks during January because of obvious reasons. So they could have been a really bad spot, but how it fell last में जो हुआ it fell perfectly for Liverpool. So I hear your point absolutely. Do you guys play football manager? खेलते हैं क्या कोई पैनल में? फतेह चलो
थोड़ा बहुत तो
श्रेय
अभी
करते हैं।
like I've become old, but yeah, we used to play a lot during the winters. I don't know why all my friends.
फतेह becoming old, come on Fateh, come on.
No, but like I mean, it's been very hot. I don't think we've played for the last 3 months. I don't know what's happened. We were playing so regularly last year, twice, thrice a week, and now everybody's just stopped.
मैं फुटबॉल मैनेजर कभी खेला ही नहीं, कैन यू बिलीव दैट? मैं फीफा वाला बंदा हूँ।
अच्छा, I thought असली में फुटबॉल खेला है. Oh,
अरे
no, no,
नहीं,
no.
फुटबॉल मैनेजर।
नहीं. Yeah, no.
फुटबॉल
Pro
में
Evolution
ऑब्वियसली हम
Soccer.
लोग सब खेले, लेकिन
PES, Pro Evolution Soccer, and now FIFA.
ओके।
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, I remember my first FIFA was FIFA 98.
सेम ईयर फीफा 98 से शुरू किया था एग्जैक्टली। अरे भाई ऑलमोस्ट रोमा यार, oh man what a save, this is a match of goalkeepers man, I'm telling you, one of those
Absolutely.
goalkeepers also needs a shout out definitely.
I think Rui Patricio
Final
so far man of the match.
Patricio, right? Yeah, definitely. I agree 100%. मतलब, also you can argue Mancini or Ibanez, they have been really good at the back. लेकिन I think Patricio's saves or match, keeping saves kind of thing. Feyenoord's inexperience clearly showed in the first half. They now look settled in the second half. Mourinho back to his best technique of parking the bus. Exactly. Maybe Feyenoord should have attacked a little bit more with kind of pace in the first half. Patnata United has a great point वहाँ पर. नाबी केटा, जोटा और एलिसन के अलावा किसी को 50 यार, वर्जिल वैन डाइक कितने कितने के थे याद दिलाइए मुझे थोड़ा। हाँ तो प्लीज उनका भी नाम जोड़िए भाई, शायद भाई। लेकिन हाँ आई एग्री दैट वो कुटिन्यो के पैसे के थे, लेकिन पैसे तो थे ना यार। द डिबेट इज नॉट अबाउट मनी, द डिबेट इज who is the better team. Liverpool is better team in today's day and age from by many other teams. Lekin also a fact is Liverpool has also spent a lot of money. Let's not get it wrong. मतलब आप देखो ग्रोथ देखो लास्ट say even last 7-8 years का, Chelsea are far below in the list, and that's a reality. मतलब not comparing again, शायद big respect आप जानते हो, लेकिन try and get what you're trying to say. It's not about the money factor, it's a combination. जो हम लिवरपूल को क्रेडिट दे रहे हैं, by the way, just saying. Passes completed, Roma 177, Feyenoord 372. Feyenoord are cooking. भाई ये पेडरसन यार मॉडर्न गेम्स पेडरसन आ गया क्या वापस?
I
Wow, what a
remember
left
that
foot he
team.
had. Blackburn Rovers के लिए.
Absolutely. I mean, what a good team that was. We
Norwegian.
talked about Forest being back. I'd love to see the first winners of the EPL come back.
अरे by that इससे याद आया, someone commented कि यार Van Persie's son is in Feyenoord. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Signed by
yeah.
Feyenoord ऐसे कुछ है. Plus Robbie Savage's son is in Manchester United Academy.
Oh, I remember
Imagine.
Savage from Blackburn. Two guys,
हाँ,
Savage,
इसलिए याद है मुझे.
Morton Gamp, Pedersen.
एंड
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
रोनाल्डो और सैवेज की एक लड़ाई हुई थी, बहुत मुझे याद है, बहुत साल पहले, when Ronaldo was new and Savage doing his typical Savage mentality in the pitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Or a proper, he was very bad, right? That.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
He was dirty.
imagine Ronaldo doing that, in the United dressing room or pitch, while training to the, Savage son in United Academy. That's
Oh
time,
my
man.
God. Yeah.
भाई जब पाक था बस ही खेलना है तो 5-3-2 खिला दो, ये क्या 4-3-3 पे यार है नहीं ना प्लेयर्स. आई एम नॉट श्योर ऐसे प्लेयर्स है, बट आई थिंक वेट अ मिनट आई थिंक इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग वो
Three at the
रोमा
back.
प्लेइंग 3-4-2
Yeah, yeah,
या
yeah.
3 द बैक ही खेल रहे.
They were playing that 3-4-2-1, which is when they're defending, it's five at the back only.
अभी 3-5-2
It becomes a 5-4-1 when they're defending.
5-4-1
So,
exactly
yeah, so
5-4-1
it's a
because
typical Mourinho.
you have Sergio Oliveira on the pitch, you have Jordan Watford on the pitch और Spinazzola. Yeah, you're right. तो ये तीनों चेंजेस है. 75 मिलियन. या थैंक यू यार फुटबॉल क्रिक्स, या शायद ये आपके लिए था मैसेज, जस्ट फॉर योर इन्फॉर्मेशन. अभी आया, जवाब भी आएगा तुमको. हाँ, वो जी जिनको रिलीज किया वो पैसे से अच्छे स्काउट्स प्लेयर्स को लेते हैं जो जल्दी मोल्ड हो जाते हैं. वही मतलब कुटिन्यो मनी से बेसिकली स्काउटेड एंड गॉट. लाइक बाय द वे चेल्सी आल्सो वांटेड वैन डाइक. उस समय याद है श्रेय, David Luiz in his second spell in his first season, बहुत ही great season था उनका, तो we were kind of hesitant. That's why we didn't pay big money for Virgil van Dijk. But how things change, that's how quick football changes sometimes. Okay, assistant manager, man, the guy was some play. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, favorite Van Persie moment, man. What would you say? World Cup 2014.
Yeah, that header. Yeah.
That header and the Robin Van Persie just partnership. Robin was in a free role playing behind Van Persie.
His volley as well. I believe against Aston Villa, I think it was a volley. Like Rooney put a long pass. Wow.
What a volley, man! What a volley. Or again, some bad memories, but Chelsea के साथ 5-3 था क्या? I think under AVB we lost a game.
5-3. 5-3.
Van Persie and Theo Walcott run us, ragged proper in that.
And Ankit bhai, Van Persie biggest moment, I think people forget, is he celebrated against Arsenal after scoring. I think that was fantastic to see as a rival.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Alex Ferguson, man, he used to really do that, man. Getting players, the best players. Again, talk about money, right? Alex Ferguson, let's be honest, for me, the greatest manager that there ever was. The one I've watched, ठीक है? फिर भी मैं बोलूंगा, Man United won a lot और Fergie time was for real. Okay, let's be honest. वो था, I'm pretty sure Fateh remembers. Come on, Ferguson used to literally, threaten the referees. Let's be honest about it.
I mean, he was very intimidating. Even with the other managers, there is that famous Kevin Keegan meltdown that he, got. And I also remember I was watching something when Arsene Wenger first came, and there was so much pressure that Ferguson was putting on Wenger. He was blasting Wenger. He was saying, "Oh, this is not how we do things in England. Maybe in Japan, this guy does it." And he was right in your face. And this is where Mourinho, because it's his final, when Mourinho came to prominence, it was with that Porto goal, the win over Manchester United,
and that knee slide.
Yeah, absolutely. And when Mourinho came, he made it a point to go after Wenger and Ferguson both. And suddenly there was this new power in England that was Chelsea, because nobody was used to that. Just because Abramovich had come, you didn't really think that there was going to be a manager who was going to be even more intimidating than Ferguson. And I think for those 2 seasons, Mourinho was that guy. I mean, he took no nonsense. It didn't matter whether it was Ferguson, whether it was Wenger, whosoever it was. I mean, Mourinho just came in and he said, "I am the top dog. Now I'm going to show you." And he proved it on the pitch. Like somebody talked about that, but that is how it was back then.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल। अरे यार यहाँ पर शायद ने एक और याद दिला दिया भाई, कम ऑन, लाइक वो ये स्नाइडर का ना 2010 वर्ल्ड कप ज़्यादा याद आता है, जो
Yeah,
is more painful for me as a Dutch fan. As much as that, I'm really proud of the Dutch team. मतलब
yeah.
that Dutch team really turned it on as well. मतलब again, they played dirty, let's be honest, लेकिन they were very effective. They were very effective.
I
Nice
think
Feyenoord.
he should have got the World Player of the Year, the Ballon d'Or that year.
हाँ हाँ 100%. There's no two ways about it. मतलब
100%,
I
yeah.
would also argue like 2014 maybe Robin
Robin.
had a shout. Robin Ribery,
Yeah.
probably both had a shout that उस साल में भी. यहाँ पर फाइनोर्ड भाई इतना क्रिएट करके नहीं कर पा रही है. But what about Schneider in Inter Milan? Like what went wrong with his career? Is he like, was he a Wayne Rooney who was like Ajax days में इतना कर लिया था, already reach कर लिया था level that he couldn't kind of take it to the next level, or it's the mentality?
No, see, he was doing very well at Inter. The problem was that the owners wanted him out because, again, money problems. So we sort of forced his hand. We forced him out to Galatasaray, and I think that was the bad choice that he made. He could have played anywhere at that stage. He was still doing so well. I mean, it wasn't as if in 2011 or 12 Snyder was not creating goals or not playing well, but it was his wife. His wife was a big Turkish celebrity. He wanted to go
Oh,
then
okay,
to
okay.
Turkey, and
ये
so
मुझे
that's
पता नहीं था
how
actually.
yeah, so that's how it all happened, and now he's divorced, so she's still a celebrity.
Oh, okay,
He's
okay.
very overweight, and like he went through a bit of a bad phase.
So basically, it was
So
off-field issues, basically,
yeah,
simple.
so it became off-field issues. The club wanted him out, but I thought that Snyder could have gone to the EPL. He could have gone anywhere. He was what, 29, 28, so he was in his prime 30. But yeah, he took the decision for his wife at that stage. So
नहीं तब तो fair enough, definitely.
yeah.
लेकिन again coming back to the game, people, और मैं देख रहा हूँ भाई, मतलब क्या, मतलब I don't know what is happening. Maybe people are just sleepy or maybe they're multitasking. Come on guys, let's do it. Let's hit the like. जो भी नहीं like किया please कर लीजिए, because we are watching from almost 2 hours with Feyenoord creating chance after chance after chance, and Roma defending for their lives. बट लाइक्स नहीं बढ़ रहे. कम ऑन, लेट्स गेट अप द लाइक्स. और आपको इतना, ट्रस्ट मी, अगेन आई एम नॉट काइंड ऑफ हियर टू ब्रैग, बट आई हैव टू स्पीक अबाउट माय पैनल एट लीस्ट. Trust me, whenever Fateh is here, Shrey is here, we have the best conversations. So इसलिए ये लोग वापस आते हैं, because not that others are bad. I don't mean that before you clip me. The fact is यार, एक है, मतलब I really genuinely feel there's a not lot of knowledge even I learn from these guys. ठीक है, तो I feel that, hope you guys also value that. और आप कर रहे हो तो लाइक कर दीजिए भाई, और श्रेय को स्पेशली प्लीज गो एंड सब्सक्राइब हिम, प्लीज गो एंड सब्सक्राइब टू श्रेय एफसी. और उतना ही नहीं, बेल नोटिफिकेशन आइकॉन भी दबाइए सब चैनल्स में, श्रेय एफसी, ऑलमाइटी ब्लूज एफसी और ऑलमाइटी स्पोर्ट्स प्लस पर. यहाँ पर अच्छा शॉट फाइनोड का, बट वीक रूई पैट्रिशियो इजी सेव. सो लेट इन सम मोर कमेंट्स. मीनवाइल यार श्रेय, क्या लग रहा है मैच का? अभी मैच का जल्दी से बात कर लेते क्विकली.
I think या तो इस लुक लाइक जोसे मास्टर क्लास की 1-0 रहेगा and they'll lift the trophy, or I think Feyenoord has got that one goal in them and is going to go to extra time. I think that's the story that's written, and at the moment the way Feyenoord is playing, I think it will be very sad to not get them a draw. It will be very, very sad.
Yeah, I think they deserve it. Like, they do deserve a goal the way they played the second half.
Fair enough. लेकिन वही है, मतलब you'll still argue that is Jose Mourinho's tactic, or sucking the pressure, or maybe he'll put in one attacker in the last. Whose option क्या है रोमा के पास? है क्या?
Shomurodov, no, but I think
El Sharawi.
El Sharawi, Shomurodov. I think Shomurodov is left. I don't know. They've got somebody else.
हाँ, मैं दिखाता हूँ अभी. By the way, people who kind of follow Roma, again, मैं देखता हूँ मेजर मैचेस तो देखता हूँ definitely Serie A के, but हाँ, I've not been able to watch every game this season. तो लाइक आप लोग देख सकते हो शायद, तो स्पिनज़ोला इज ऑलरेडी ऑन, वर्तुत इज ऑलरेडी ऑन, एंड ओलिवेरा इज ऑलरेडी ऑन.
Gyan, the young guy, Gyan.
ओके, ठीक है. आसमा ज्ञान का कोई है क्या रिलेटिव है कोई? जस्ट पुटिंग इट आउट देयर, डोंट गेट मी रॉन्ग पीपल. सो मेटलिन नाइल्स, ओके, टाइमी एब्राहम कमिंग ऑफ, बिग
Oh
न्यूज़.
my God.
जल्दी आ रहा है, मतलब मैं सोचा अभी भी, क्योंकि डिफेंसिवली ही इज यूजफुल ना. अच्छा, नहीं ही इज नॉट कमिंग. मैन मैनेजमेंट, टाइम वेस्टिंग था भाई, टाइम वेस्टिंग था
Wow.
वो. येलो कार्ड मिला रूई पैट्रिशियो को. रूई पैट्रिशियो धीरे से बोला होगा टाइमी को, रुक भाई कहाँ जा रहा है तू. हाँ, ठीक है. तो यहाँ हुआ जोसे मोरिन्यो मास्टर क्लास. टेकिंग a yellow card doesn't matter,
Doesn't
to hell
matter.
with it.
Yeah.
But El Sharawi, I believe, can be that X factor अगर उन्हें चाहिए होगा एक गोल. लेकिन again, it's all in the box of Feyenoord's court right now. They have to basically get that equalizer. Can we take a liberty and send Lukaku? भाई एक तो शायद मतलब I respect you, आप इतना सपोर्ट करते हो हमें, but let's be honest, एक तो हमारे पास आपके और मेरे पास पावर है नहीं, ठीक है. सेकेंडली, आप और भी भाई आप लिवरपूल फैन हो, आप कहाँ से भेज रहे हो लुकाकू को फाइनोड, ठीक है. नो डिसरिस्पेक्ट बट यू नो व्हाट आई मीन, राइट. लेकिन हाँ, फॉर सेकंड हाफ इट्स लास्ट 10 मिनट्स, तो ही इज एक्चुअली हैविंग कॉन्फिडेंस इन लुकाकू. चलो, दैट एटलीस्ट आई लाइक अबाउट शायद. ही इज हैविंग कॉन्फिडेंस कि लुकाकू मार देंगे गोल फॉर द इक्वलाइजर ऑफ फाइनोड. नहीं यार, पेनल्टीज नहीं चाहिए भाई. गोल हो जाए, लेकिन आई डोंट वांट पेनल्टीज. इंजरी,
Cast drop.
oh
See,
man.
if he's bringing Eldor Shomurodov in, that means he's bringing a striker. So who is he taking off?
नहीं, इंजरी हुई है अभी, लग रहा है कोई.
Cast drop, yeah.
But he's not going on. वो क्या रहा है यार रोमा में, टाइम पास कर रहे हैं लोग. हाँ,
I don't know.
right wing back, if they are getting a striker for a right wing back, then I thought maybe they're changing the formation. Lekin again they didn't make a change. They didn't make a change from what? Kind of strange. Okay, no problem. Fateh bhaiya, thoughts on Maicon? Arre!
Oh, absolutely. I think Maicon, like people only like judge him with what happened with Bale, which is like, they made a meme out of him, but he was so good even for Brazil. If you remember the World Cup 2006, the World Cup 2010, that goal from the,
Mera, by the way, just a secret, Maicon, again, back in the day, like, when I used to play early FIFA, when Maicon was young,
yeah,
I was like, he is the next guy to Cafu in terms of, just bombing on. So I used to take him in FIFA all the time.
Absolutely. And, he was very good for Monaco. He was very good for Inter. I mean, what a player. Like I said, like there was this Mancini season when only Ibrahimovic and Maicon, that was the attack. Maicon would go from the right, pass to Ibra, goal. Mourinho also sort of used the same thing. Like he didn't change in his first season because nothing else worked. We had such a defensive workman like midfield. We had a midfield, Patrick Vieira, Stankovic, Cambiaso, Zanetti. So nobody could go forward. It was just a defensive midfield. And absolutely, Cambiaso, I mean, he's a legend. Flopped at Real Madrid. But
I think even Leicester players actually have gone on record. Shrey, आपने सुना होगा interviews, I think with Vardy and stuff like that. Cambiaso's role at Leicester is probably not spoken about enough. वो एक winning mentality जो आई ना, Cambiaso has spoke about his stories and whatnot. That really worked. और that relegation जो उन्होंने बचाया था. If you remember Drogba's second year back at Chelsea. So,
I remember that when Cambiaso went there.
So I remember that game as well. Where Drogba scored against Leicester, but it was really close. अरे ये क्या हुआ? कार्ड मिलेगा definitely. ये तो नाटक नहीं है ना? Yeah, Tammy has been targeted थोड़ा, नहीं?
Mourinho putting the pressure on the referee.
नहीं, लेकिन Tammy has been targeted, I must say.
They've been very physical with him. But and Goran Pandev, like he scored this wonderful goal against Bayern in 2011. I totally thought that we've lost that game. And, he was still playing, I think, the first goal for Macedonia at the last Euros. So he's gone down in the history books.
Yeah. And he did well. He did well, to be honest.
Did well.
Macedonia, North Macedonia did a madness.
Yeah.
Shrey, Kane का क्या लगता है भाई? मतलब, like he wants to win at Tottenham. I know हमने बात की, Conte possibly winning them a cup. This time he might take it seriously than last time. But realistic picture क्या है? If Kane has to get a big club, this is the moment, but he will not move, right? That's a reality.
What about Real Madrid now that they've lost Mbappe?
Exactly, वो क्या हुआ है? That's what I was coming to, because Kane has been linked to Real Madrid. Lewandowski also has been, but I don't know.
But Ankit bhai, the problem is Kane has only put himself in this hole. He has only himself to blame. Signing their 6-year contract was ridiculously bad for me. Even Real, the problem is they are dealing with Daniel Levy. If it was some other person, I think you could have got him. Like at Chelsea, you remember when Roman Abramovich allowed Czech to leave to Arsenal for 10 million just because he did a lot for the club. Daniel Levy is not like that. He's not going to say, Kane, thank you so much, I'll let you leave for 30 million. He's going to demand 90 million for a player who has 2.5.
Let's all clap for Tammy, man. Tammy, what a shift he put in today. He's been subbed. A very good shift in my opinion. But please Shrey, continue.
Yeah, Ankit, but the thing is with Kane is first of all, Daniel Levy dealing with it is the biggest problem. Second thing is the age that he has reached now. The third thing is his contract. I think transfer fee of at least 60 to 70 million will be required to get him. And for a 29, 30-year-old paying 80 million pounds, I just don't think the clubs are going to commit to that. And Kane sadly has only himself to blame. He signed that contract, and I think he has got the chance now. See, Kane has to take a bit of blame, a bit that whenever they reach a final, he and Son have not stepped up. They could have won them a trophy, could have made Daniel Levy spend some money. Like, I think as much as I love Kane, he's one of the best strikers in the world. That Benzema touch is not there in him. Benzema, big game, is just different factor. Like, that's just Kane can at least do this stuff, and he's got the manager now. He's got the manager who has got absolutely experience to win trophies. And if Kane has to do something for Tottenham, it's time now. If he and Son can really complement each other well and play with the big game mentality, Tottenham can win some big cups next season, especially Carabao FA Cup. So he has to put himself now, and I think he will be staying at Tottenham.
हाँ fair enough. और यूनाइटेड तो नहीं बनता है फुटबॉल पिक्स as much as United fans won't like it. It's not happening. Simply put, bottom line.
But is it okay for Kane to just win, say, a League Cup? Like, is that enough? Because
that's what I was still coming to, because as much as Conte is a brilliant manager, we are also fans, like most of us in the fans.
Yeah.
Honestly, realistically नहीं जीतने वाली भाई. लीग कप से ज्यादा चाहिए तो जीतेगी. FA Cup, League Cup at max. They cannot win. Or is it like enough for him to kind of, like you said, going into the knockouts of the Champions League? Is it like really an achievement? He's already been in the finals of a Champions League. I know under Pochettino, और उसलिए वो believe कर रहा है. मतलब you have to give it to the guy. The guy is a captain material. But he has to be realistic as well. Like he can be a one club man, but he never was. वो ऐसा नहीं है कि यार टॉटनहम में रहा है पूरा करियर. So he has been loaned lot of times as well. So I don't see him being that element like maybe a Shearer was towards the end what he felt for Newcastle. So वही है. Though Shearer might be the ideal person to tell. Or Shearer, I think, if I'm not wrong, has gone on record saying that Kane should move. From what I remember, beginning of the last season. Abhi maybe he says it differently, but that's what he told.
Because when people say that Spurs will spend 150 million, but okay, that's okay. But then City will spend, like they've already spent on Haaland. Liverpool will spend, Chelsea will spend, United will spend. Now I don't know what Newcastle are going to do. Like like you mentioned Shearer, they'll be spending a lot. And then you've got West Ham, Leicester, Arsenal are likely to spend. Like they were linked with Tielemans, I think, Yuri Tielemans. So
अभी भी यार कल ही हमने कवर किया था 30 million is what the figure is.
Yeah, so I mean everybody's going to spend. So it just because Spurs are spending doesn't really mean that a trophy is going to come, and a trophy that's an important trophy. So I don't know.
Yeah. By the way, Feyenoord just about creating a chance yet again. Man, I know, man. This guy, the Feyenoord manager is kind of lost it. I don't know what should I say. इतने chances create करने के बाद भी they have not. I know Rui Patricio was great in those 3 saves that he made. One being a double save, but again towards the second half, I was expecting more. Fateh, don't you agree? क्या हुआ यहाँ पे? Penalty? Free kick?
Free kick, I think.
Free kick. अरे भाई मैं सोचा just outside. Typical free kick.
Yeah, I think Roma have just been clever, but like the goalkeepers coming up. I mean, imagine if Feyenoord get a equalizer. If they get a goal now, I wouldn't bet against Feyenoord actually winning it in extra time.
Fair enough.
Oh,
देखते हैं अरे यार गोलकीपर आ गया by the way, और this guy actually trying it. नहीं यार, it should be defended. Come on, you don't do a Kante moment what he did against Martinelli, please. Not that I don't love Kante यार, people यार clip कर देंगे, सडन से बोलना चाहिए और disclaimer, लेकिन नहीं. Stay knows what I'm saying. The moment जो हमें Chelsea fans bad memory है वो तो रहेगी.
I think
चलो यार,
Roma
I think
more pragmatic. That's it.
इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ just play direct, man. Feyenoord, you have your last 2 minutes. You have tried playing football. Roma have kept a structure. Spinazzola, यार, using his experience, man. Brilliant stuff from Spinazzola there. Wow. मतलब वहाँ 1 मिनट ले लिया भाई फतेह अकेले ही.
ले गया. पर वो फ्री किक उनको मिला है Feyenoord को.
हाँ फिर भी यार, he actually kept the ball for almost 55 seconds by himself.
See, I think that is where Roma probably won this. They've just got more experience than Feyenoord, because otherwise Feyenoord, the chances that they've created, the football Feyenoord have played football, but like Mourinho says, the final is not to play, it's to win. That's another Jose Mourinho quote. The final is not, you're not going there to play, to keep the ball, stats. It's just to win. And I think that's the mentality that Jose brings.
यार आयुष सुपर कप थोड़ी जीता है. टाइमी टाइमी था क्या तब सुपर कप में? नहीं था ना. सुपर कप कहाँ जीता?
No, he had left.
He had left. So that is the only thing pending, the biggest motivator. Imagine, bhai. But again, yeah, I don't regret. Honestly speaking, I'm happy for Tammy, and I go with the fact that this season Tammy wouldn't have given the goals, maybe more than Lukaku slightly. लेकिन 20 गोल्स मार लेता 15 से और कितना होता. मतलब I don't see him being that player जो हमें चाहिए था. Let's be honest about it. Do you think Juventus needs an overhaul? And Allegri, यार ये again फतेह, हमने बात की थी शायद इसके बारे में भी, Allegri and dinosaur football थोड़ा सा.
Yeah, I mean, see, I would still give him one more season. I mean, it's not worked out, but that midfield, it's been a problem for Juve for a very long time now. That midfield.
By the way, people, ये तो news. I don't know if you guys know. Rabiot has been strongly linked with Chelsea आज.
Oh.
Maybe again वो PSG days Tuchel के साथ, I think if I'm not wrong था एक साल खेला है Rabiot under Tuchel. So that might be one of the reasons. But again, people, last few seconds. Feyenoord trying the level best, and I don't know why they're playing football. अरे भाई, history created. Jose Mourinho, look at that. That is what बोला भाई, मैंने सब जीत लिया यूरोप में, दे दो मुझे, क्या देना है भाई, पंजा दिखा रहा है वो. Man, goosebumps for Jose Mourinho. Whatever it is, I know there are a lot of people who kind of literally hate Mourinho the man, but whatever be it, भाई, you have to give it to the guy. The guy has won everything in Europe. एंड आप सोचो भाई, हम लोग यूरोप में मैच देखने के लिए तरस जाते हैं. वो एक मैनेजर है जो हर एक यूरोप में कंपटीशन जीता है. रियली इमोशनल मोमेंट फॉर जोसे मोरिन्यो's बैकरूम स्टाफ. जो बैकरूम स्टाफ है, बिग अप, क्योंकि दे हैव बीन विद जोसे मोरिन्यो थ्रू थिक एंड थिन, एंड आई रियली मीन इट. Tammy Abraham, भाई, you should thank Jose Mourinho, I would say, but a great performance. Unlucky, man. Feyenoord
unlucky.
बहुत सारे गोल स्कोर करते थे अर्ली पार्ट ऑफ टूर्नामेंट, बट आई थिंक दे डिडंट हैव इनफ डिलीवरी टू deserve. मतलब दैट इज व्हाट आई वुड से. Too much of ball playing, a bit too much. They had to be a little bit more direct. But again, Smalling, Ibanez beat, Mancini, Patricio, brilliant performances, man. मतलब क्या बोलोगे यार? मतलब what kind of performance is this? Is this really one of those typical Jose Mourinho performances? Anyone?
Very typical. I think he did park the bus. He totally did park the bus in the second half. And they, even when Feyenoord were creating chances, in the back of my mind, I had it that, okay, Roma will somehow manage it. And I think they've done it. It's just a typical Mourinho final. And wow, I mean, first guy to win everything.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
Chelsea and Inter fans, we can be very happy.
अरे सुपर चैंपियंस लीग फाइनल की बात कर रहे हो आप शायद. सुपर कप, लेट्स सी 2021 सुपर कप स्क्वाड देखते हैं पहले. श्रेया, प्लीज कमेंट्स अबाउट द मैच, अबाउट Mourinho, अबाउट Tammy.
I think overall, I was impressed with Tammy. उसका होल्डर प्ले आज बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा था. जैसे चेल्सी में इसकी कमजोरी मानी जाती थी, एंड वाज अ गुड होल्डर प्ले फ्रॉम हिम. और उसके अलावा आई थिंक इट वाज, जैसे फतेह भाई ने कहा था कि इट वाज अ टिपिकल मोरिनो परफॉर्मेंस. टिपिकल, ये मुझे यूरोपा लीग का भी वो याद दिलाता है, फाइनल जो आईएक्स के साथ था, फ्रैंक डे बोर वाली आईएक्स के साथ था, जो वहां पे उन्होंने पूरा करा था. मेरे को याद है मोरिनो ने पोस्ट मैच में बोला था कि आई थिंक फ्रैंक डे बोर ने डिग ली थी कोई मोरिनो पे, तो पोएम के बारे में कुछ बोला था, आई एम नॉट हियर टू impress everyone, and just impressive. Like, और मेरे को ये लगता है कि experience, अंकित भाई था, experience mattered a lot. Smalling, I think players like even Henrik Mkhitaryan for first 25 minutes, and in the dressing room, I think even Tammy with Chelsea. So some Roma players knew how to do it. I
have to raise my hand यहाँ पर. Ayush is right. I just checked and yes, you're right. Tammy ने वो complete नहीं किया था move, और Super Cup में he was our only fit striker on paper, to be honest. Who also started on the bench. So yes, Tammy, he had a pre-season also, if I remember right. So yes, he was certainly there, or he won the medal. So yes, Tammy is also kind of been there. I think Tammy is writing his name in the history books already. I think already लिख लिया ना. First, I think Roma or debut player to score so many goals. First foreign player to score so many goals. one who's won. I think only Chelsea players won everything. Like literally now that this thing is happening,
Europa League.
knockout time. Exactly. So you have to give to Tammy as well. Should I be happy for Smalling, bloody Rio Ferdinand replacement? Be happy for Smalling, but be happy that Man United did not play him. If all like आप Maguire के लिए इतना रोते हो और imagine Smalling होता तो क्या होता ये और Phil Jones Smalling आज तक रहते as a starting centre half. लेकिन again, I mean, we just joking. अभी तो moment is as we see the name being inscribed on the cup. It is AS Roma. Wow. Wow, man, what a moment. Matches आएंगे, matches जाएंगे, but Modric assist to Rodrigo in semi-final against Chelsea is still my favorite assist. No offense to Chelsea, but best है दोस्त तो ये मतलब हाँ डेफिनेटली और टैमी का नाच यहाँ पर भी दिखते हुए बहुत ही मजे कर रहा है टैमी इब्राहिम मैन as in from here where do Roma go Fateh?
See, I think Roma, they'll have a little bit more investment, some more confidence in Mourinho. If he stays, I don't know what happens. I mean, he could choose to leave, but they have to make the Champions League. I know they're playing the Europa League, but that's such a slippery slope. Like relying on winning the Europa League to get to the Champions League. No, they have to go for fourth spot because that's where the money is. And I think a club like Roma, why not? I mean, next season, I don't know whether Milan are going to be that good if there's no Zlatan. We've discussed about Zlatan. So are Juve going to be that good? Are Inter going to be that good if we are losing players? So why not? I mean, if the owners see this, they back Mourinho, they get him one or two signings. Why not? Can they win the league? I don't think so, but top four.
Fair enough. I think that's pretty sure. Or again, like for people saying that Mourinho will move to Newcastle, I don't think, man. After that kind of again, you said it like I know with Inter, you cannot compare what he had the season 2010. I think there was a different element there versus now. I think Mourinho's season और rather his time in his career कि आ गया यार भाई वो थोड़ा सा अभी रेस्ट कर ले आराम से ले और I think Roma is your ideal place. I don't think
Yeah,
इतना pressure है
there's
to
no
be
pressure.
exactly.
The thing is, even the dressing room, like the players do not have that personality to go out and challenge Jose Mourinho. Like, say it may have happened at Spurs, you said, like Ndombele or somebody, or say it happened at Chelsea or Man U, where the personalities were there, where players could challenge him and say, okay, no, you are wrong. There's nobody in Rome right now who's at that level. So I think it's the perfect atmosphere for him.
Right. Again, yeah, people करीबन 25 लोग हैं जुड़ गए. Come on, let's like the stream. काफी बार आज पूछना पड़ रहा है. Come on, let's like the stream, भाई. मतलब just to give you a stat, हमने आज कितने घंटों के लिए किया है? I think this is probably my 7th hour of streaming. तो I think थोड़ा तो मैं थोड़ा सा deserve करता हूँ. तो let's do that. But more than me, it's the panel. It's you guys watching who deserve it yourself. So let's like the stream. So that we have a few more people joining as we finish the review and then we kind of go to sleep. Come back tomorrow or technically today where we will be doing a lot more. Yes, we are expected to be live for Champions League preview, the big preview that will be there tonight. Either today or tomorrow, let's see. But either way, हम live रहेंगे. इतना वो बोल देता हूँ. आज शाम को रहेंगे. So certainly do join us, people, and do like the stream. यहाँ पर मैं share करने वाला हूँ. What has been the performance of the team on paper? Again, people in the chat. Do put in the comments who was your man in the match, who was your man of the tournament in the Conference League. देखते हैं what is your choice, but this is what we are seeing here. तो अब देखो 1-0 obviously. Patricio, this website says football.com says that Patricio deserves it. I think we kind of agree. Patricio deserves it, man of the match. कोई भी है पैनल में जो disagree करता हो नहीं, fair enough. But words of praise, like I said, I think the guy who was linked to Manchester United, pretty good. Malaysia has been, he had some good overlapping runs. I think either wings they were good, but this guy, Orsnes, he was the main creator for them, with Senesi playing some very good balls. ठीक है, तो ये 4 players थे for me who really stood out. Desser's only problem is he did not get enough ball, or the player who kind of really, fended off Desser's, I think was Smalling. Smalling was meant, उसके लिए you were seeing a lot of tackles. जो second ball आ रहे थे ना, for that even years होते हैं. So that is what मैं बोल रहा था. Definitely they've done well. और Mancini with his great pass which got the goal of Zaniolo. Again, substitutes coming on. I don't think so. They had so much impact really. But any other words, Fateh or Shrey, about the performances on the pitch or the bench?
I think overall it was. Yeah, Fateh bhai.
Yeah. No, आप करो, आप करो.
Okay. For me, Ankit bhai, for the man of the match, as much as I agree with Rui Patricio, I think Mancini was the one who impressed me a lot today. I think the biggest thing people would have noticed in the match was Mancini's aggression. Whenever there was a fight going on or some anger on the player, like it was a typical Mourinho player. The way Mancini has been programmed by Mourinho now, like he was going hard sometimes on tackles and anger, that enthusiasm. Even Tammy Abraham at every time pulling the crowd up. So it was so refreshing to see, like they're going the crowd up, time wasting, time management, the way they were going down. It was a dirty side. If it was Chelsea playing today and we were on this end, I would have been coming here and going on Mourinho. But as a neutral, it's beautiful to watch. It's absolutely beautiful.
Ekdam. So again, people asking what time we are live. I've just kind of put in a comment. So again, do follow us on our socials. It's just Almighty Blues FC on Twitter, on Instagram. आपको सब updates मिल जाएंगे. Or just hit the bell icon. You will get updates on our community page. ठीक है, आपको मिल जाएंगे certainly. और most probably हम 7 बजे रहेंगे आज live. But like I said, we are on multiple streams. We are doing reviews of teams. हमने EPL का review मैंने खुद किया था. फतेह उस दिन फ्री नहीं थे तो उनको भी लाता because I did a proper. I don't know if you watched Fateh. We did a Serie A ka, Milan ka, we relived what they did. Exactly.
I'll go now and watch it. Like that is how I do it. Like after this, so
because उस दिन क्या हो रहा था ना, Sunday को like literally there are so many matches. So while we kind of enjoyed, or I was like doing a watch along, but again we weren't able to really live that moment in totality because ये इधर एक second हो रहा था भाई वहाँ कुछ हो गया. So we literally relived that on Monday on the channel. Great stream that I was able to get support from the people as well. लेकिन हाँ, not only that, we did a Chelsea review कल रात को. आज obviously we were hoping to kind of continue with the Conference League, Europa League review, but we didn't get time. But again, we did playoff watch along for IPL on the other channel, so that's the reason why we didn't do. But we are going to be doing definitely a Man United ka or La Liga ka review in the next couple of days, along with the preview for the UCL. So stay tuned. और Monday को Who Am I वापस आ रहा है if the the contestants are ready, and of course myself as well. Yeah, thank you यार राजेश, thank you. और यार मुझे यार एक congrats चाहिए था यार, 3K कर दो Almighty Sports Plus पे. That will be the main congrats for me right now. But RCB, I'm really elated about that, bhai. Isala Cup namde. Well, that I always say it, man. Don't worry about that. Bhai, screening karte hai na UCL Finals ka, shall we? So Syed is in Bangalore. Let's see, bhai, Syed. In the future, hopefully, we'll get to that level. Let's see. Abhi to yaar, we're just kind of building the channel and building a community. If you're having a lot of people from Bangalore, why not? Of course. Aap mujhe DM kariye. We can plan in the future for sure. Lekin Fateh, anyone in the tournament, like both Europa League and Conference League, who kind of stood out? I remember Kostic maybe in the Europa League was one guy that teams will have eyes on. Dessers maybe for Feyenoord. Today आज थोड़ा under the radar guy. लेकिन who else?
Yeah, I think it has to be Dessers. Like you kept you brought him to my attention, the Rangers right wing back.
Tavernier, yeah, James
Exactly.
Tavernier.
Like you told him, and I thought he was very good. Like he's very good.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Captain
Yeah, absolutely. So I think for the Europa League, honest mention to him today. Absolutely, I think the Feyenoord they were not. Maybe it's experience. Maybe not playing in those very big games, the big league, the pressure. Maybe that's where they lacked. But yeah, Tammy Abraham has to be the player of the tournament. The goals he scored and the way he leads the line today. They made it very physical for him, but he was right in the battle. Like for the 85 minutes that he was there, he was physically right in the battle all the while. So I mean, I think sky's the limit for him. I would love to see him come back to Chelsea someday, and
आएगा भाई, पता ही है 80 मिलियन देंगे ना श्रेय. क्या लगता है, गट फील कभी ना कभी तो आएगा ही.
I think so, Ankit bhai, gut feeling तो है कि yes he might come, but overall I think so नहीं आएगा price के कारण. And अब new owners आ रहे हैं, हमें ये नहीं पता new owners की क्या thinking है.
ये एक बीच में एक stepping stone होगा. मैं बोल रहा हूँ next to next club will be Chelsea again.
मेरे को सिर्फ अंकित भाई मेरे को सिर्फ ये गट फीलिंग आ रही है कि वो प्रीमियर लीग में किसी और क्लब के लिए खेलेगा, हमारे खिलाफ गोल मारेगा, सेलिब्रेट करेगा. No. I think वो उससे बड़े क्लब में खेलेगा.
Arsenal. अरे don't tell me his entire family is Arsenal fans,
Yeah, and that is why, like, I also read it that his family supports Arsenal, and I think they need this sort of fulcrum up front, this sort of striker, So I don't think they'll spend 80 million, but something like 60, 50, 60, 70 million. Why not?
अच्छा यार, जो भी देख रहा है ना भाई, कंजूसी क्यों कर रहे हो भाई? 27 people watching. I am seeing the likes not increasing, but I am seeing the people who have joined increasing. तो क्लियर है, जो ज्वाइन किए लाइक नहीं किए हो भाई. पैनल, इफ यू कैन जस्ट पुट अ वर्ड, बिकॉज लेट्स एटलीस्ट रीच टू 100 लाइक्स. आधा तो कर दीजिए लाइक टारगेट का, आराम से हो सकता है. बिकॉज लाइक आई सेड, इट रियली मैटर्स, ट्रस्ट मी, इट डज. आई एम डूइंग दिस डेली, आई नो एग्जैक्टली व्हाट मैटर्स. आपका एक लाइक ही है, आपको मैटर नहीं करेगा कुछ भी, ठीक है. आप, मैं कुछ गलत कंटेंट नहीं डालने वाला कि आपको, you know, they will come and tell you that okay, you got to watch Ankit's content. No, you will see good content here, you would see good panelists here. अगर आपको, if you, even if you're not liking, we are open to feedback, absolutely. So constructive feedback, we're open. DM करिए मुझे. हाँ, we should have open streams, but because of obvious reasons we cannot have open streams again, because I'm not going to be taking that amount of risk right now. But like I said, everyone, now 33 people are watching. Let's first like the stream, because let's be honest, we have been trying to cover and, you know, raising the flag of Serie A for the entire season. Fateh has been a mainstay there. Hopefully, Shrey joins in much more in the following season. But again, talking about that, do subscribe to Shrey FC. भी आप देख रहे हो नीचे आ रहा है नाम, बहुत easy है, Shrey FC. Please do, you know, head over, or let's grow our community, right? It's a family. But again, yeah, I'll take a few more questions as उनको कप मिल गई है और they're getting the medals. Roma, that is obviously history made for Roma, by the way. Congratulations to Italian fans, to, you know, Roma fans. What do you think after that Mbappe incident? Will Madrid go for any forward? The $1 million question, bhai. Fateh.
I think they'll have to make some signing, especially see if they lose the Champions League final. The kind of club that they are, they cannot be seen to just say, well, we've got too many and that's it. So if they lose that Champions League final, I think they'll need to make some signing. They've lost Haaland, they've lost Mbappe. Who is left? Who's the third? I mean, I'm looking at Harry Kane, like maybe, but then can Harry Kane and Benzema coexist? So, maybe the signing is going to be elsewhere. Maybe Pogba goes there. I don't know, but I think, yeah, let's wait for the Champions League final. If they lose it, they'll make some signing, some big signing. Salah, maybe. I don't know whether that happens.
By the way, he's gone on record. He's given some interview, I believe. Matlab, again, I'm just quoting the people in the chat that, I am seeing that, he is going to be completing his contract at least, if not extending. So it will be, a big deal for Liverpool for sure. कोई नहीं. But yeah, again, I'm seeing a lot of people joining. मेरा कमेंट देखिए, आप लोग पढ़कर समझ जाइए. एंड यार, एक और यहाँ पर आया, ये क्या आया भाई? Plastic Barca and Bayern fans in search of glory now supporting City. Bhai, what happened, man? Who's the plastic Bayern and Barca fans you're reporting here? I don't know. But by the way, Nibbles, I'm seeing this name first time, so I'm hoping you're not here just for the fun and just for basically, poking at us. But if you're here, I'm assuming you're subscribed. ठीक है, और subscribe किया तो आप देखिए हमारा playlist, the kind of content we have, not just now, we are doing from over a year. Fateh has been there right from day one almost, and same with Shrey. So let's actually look at that and, then probably comment what we're looking to comment. But yeah, thanks for joining. That's what I would say. Okay, Serge Gnabry or Darwin Núñez for Real Madrid. Serge Gnabry, maybe because एक साल है ना contract में उसका भी. I think एक साल बाकी है Bayern Munich में. हाँ, तो that looks like a possible. लेकिन Mourinho left Man United in 2018, joined Spurs, made it to a cup final, got sacked days before playing it, and still won a trophy before Man United and Spurs. Wow. Devesh, what a comment, man. What a comment. Trust me. But again, I have gone on record saying there are certain aspects of Mourinho which I actually do not like at all. And that is like, for example, De Bruyne case, what he did with De Bruyne at Chelsea. But again, he's human. Despite that, he has done what he's done. And again, over the course of a career, again, I would go back and saying that Mourinho has to deserve right in the top notch bracket. Gut feeling, okay, यहाँ तो पढ़ लिया था. What would have been your reaction if Chelsea would have won Carabao Cup, FA Cup, finished second in Premier League, and went to Champions League finals? So, by the way, Super Cup और Club World Cup be included है, obviously यहाँ पर. Elated, right? Shrey, that is, I don't think we would have had such a brilliant season in recent times. I don't remember.
I think Ankit, even last year at some point, you remember we had May 16th FA Cup final and then May 29. So I think even that was very near to a great moment, and we lost and we won, and that was the best moment I've had as a fan. That was just magnificent the way we won, and when the trophy name was being written on it with a pen, CHELSCA. I think it was fantastic, and
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the moment. Like what Roma are
Liverpool fans
experiencing right now. That's a different
absolutely.
feeling altogether.
Hmm.
Or by the way, imagine like Mancini ka baat kiya, such a young guy, winning a European trophy, be it the first ever Conference League. That is why it's historical, even though it's Conference League. And yes, a lot of people have joined. आते यार like दबा दीजिए, hit the likes. Let's get the likes to 200. जैसे आप देख रहे हैं नीचे, we can all do that together. Or subscribe target BA. If everyone is not subscribed, let's subscribe to not just Almighty Blues FC, Almighty Sports Plus, but also to Shrey FC. उनका है tag नीचे in the first line of description. ये मैं comment quickly फतेह के साथ डिस्कस करना चाहूंगा. फतेह, आपको याद है भाई चेल्सी लिवरपूल की क्या राइवलरी रही है द अर्ली मिड 2000s. आपने बोला था आई थिंक दैट ग्लॉन्कियर गोल से शुरू हो गया था. Even before
Yeah, yeah,
that, if you
yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah.
what Zola did to Carragher in that very season.
Oh,
The turn Carragher, I don't know if you saw, so check out one of my videos. मैंने उसमें cover भी किया है.
okay.
What Zola also was one of the examples, by the way, in that same video I'm talking about, जहाँ पर मैंने किया था the best 11 of 30 plus years के transfers for
30 plus.
Chelsea और
Yeah,
generally. So Zola
one of
was
my
signed at
favorite
Chelsea
players, Zola.
at 30.
Absolute
ठीक है.
legend.
And obviously we know that Parma में he did a madness before that
Yeah,
Napoli with Maradona. लेकिन
Yeah,
हाँ, Carragher को जाकर जो किया था ना, Carragher literally was on his bum twice in the same match.
yeah.
तो
Wow.
जो आज
I need to see
फाइनोर्ड
this.
की थी रोमा को for
हाँ.
few moments.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
Zola did, or in the return leg as well he did it. So twice in the same season, twice. तो in that time से थोड़ा banter शुरू हो गया था. Just for people who were thinking why Liverpool, भाई कुछ कनेक्शन ही नहीं है. प्लस लिवरपूल और चेल्सी उस समय थी टॉप 4 के रेस में, प्रोबेबली राइवल्स, प्रॉपर राइवल्स. ठीक है, कौन जा रहा है टॉप 4 में, तो वहां पर था जहां पर ग्रोंकियार ने गोल मारा. ठीक है, फिर वी हैड द गोस्ट गोल of Luis Garcia, ठीक है, which was never a goal in my view. Again, debatable. That's what I think. Red card होता Liverpool fans will say, but whatever, it doesn't matter. दुश्मनी तो वहां से और बड़ी, ठीक है, थोड़ी. Then we had obviously because of that in a way, you had Jose Mourinho and Rafa Benitez भिड़त. Then you had obviously that 4-all when Lampard, Mohamed passed away. That match where Alex scored. Okay, then obviously Torres coming to Chelsea. ठीक है.
Oh, yes, yes.
2012 before the Champions League final, we played Liverpool in the FA Cup final. वहां पर भी you had a moment just like our ghost goal. You had a moment with Andy Carroll. ठीक है, तो I have already named 7 to 8 moments which are like so important. और यहाँ पर मैंने जेरार्ड स्लिप के बारे में बात ही नहीं किया है. जेरार्ड ओन गोल इन कैराबाओ कप, कार्लिंग कप जो बुलाते थे, उसके बारे में बात ही नहीं किया है. और डेम्बाबा मोमेंट obviously with the जेरार्ड स्लिप, और Mourinho beating Liverpool to not letting you win the title. तो I already named 10 instances. तो I think शायद आपको इनफ ज्ञान मिल गया आज के लिए.
और गोस्ट गोल, आई थिंक अंकित भाई, जो गोस्ट गोल था लिवरपूल के चैंपियंस लीग में जब हमें नॉकआउट करा था.
हाँ, वो तो बोला है ना, मैं लुइस गार्सिया का.
अच्छा.
वो तो बोला ही था,
Okay,
मैं बोला.
okay.
But हाँ, exactly, that was probably one of the main reasons. And Lampard, भाई, to tell Klopp about, you just to beep one one title in 30 years and you are like, this is what you're doing. But that is what happens. Something is there. And Pulisic, our Klopp getting rid of Pulisic coming back and scoring against Klopp, and then Klopp coming back and beating or rather winning the league against the game against Chelsea. तो बहुत सारे सबप्लॉट्स हुए. तो आई थिंक रिसेंट गेम्स में भी द रीजन व्हाई इट हैज ऑलवेज गॉन एकदम टक्कर की रही ना चेल्सी लिवरपूल. इफ यू सी द गेम्स, देयर इज हार्डली एनीथिंग टू चूज फ्रॉम. बिकॉज ऑफ दैट देयर इज अ लॉट राइडिंग टू इट. मतलब वही, मैं इफ यू सी माय अर्लियर वीडियोस टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ लास्ट ईयर एंड बिगिनिंग ऑफ दिस ईयर, मैं तो ऑलरेडी हैड प्रेडिक्टेड आई विश वी गेट एफए कप फाइनल में लिवरपूल इन द कैराबाओ कप फाइनल, और साला वही हुआ. लेकिन हक दिया हम लोग दोनों ही में पेनल्टीज में. वो भी चलो कोई नहीं, that is part and parcel. I don't know, Sahid, I hope you like that lesson. Not lesson, it's just a fact. I just thought of bringing out those facts. Oh yes, Nibbles is new year. I don't like people in search of glory started jumping into clubs, especially the Barca and Bayern fans, to City as their godfather. Bhai, Nibbles, whom are you addressing this to? Who are those people you're referring to? Please let us know. Well, I don't know anyone in the panel or in the chat who are them, so I don't know, Nibbles, whom are you referring to. But I would like to say, just a suggestion, do not generalize. Okay, that's what I would say, and that's in life, not only football. You cannot like scapegoat, stereotype, or generalize people. But again, thanks for coming on. I'm hoping that you also subscribe to our other channel and are regular from now. Hopefully, we get much more comments that we can address, in a better manner. But yeah, Any last words भाई? रोमा तो जीत गई है. What are you looking forward to अभी in the season? Champions League final coming, obviously हम बात करेंगे कल, इसलिए मैं काफी क्वेश्चन लिया नहीं था. But Shrey, some more I don't know stories आते हैं, Sterling to Chelsea, things like that. Like what are you looking at? Edson Alvarez, is it a good DM? Quickly आप अगर address करना चाहो इसको.
I think for me at the moment, I'm really looking forward to the Champions League final because it's going to be epic with the way the season has gone, especially for Real, inevitably, because they remind me of 2012 Chelsea. Because for me, we should have knocked them out. We dominated them for the two ties. City should have knocked them out, but then mentality was there, and I just want to see that story being written. All Liverpool are going to win it, and I think once the Champions League final gets over, we Chelsea fans are going to have 61 days of absolute sleepless night, rumor after rumor, player after player, and I just can't wait for that. Which players are we going to sign? Jules Koundé, Guardiola, Bastoni, even Andy Carroll might come into the picture with Chelsea. So I really have to be
Oh,
excited with
भाई
that.
साहब. Imagine Dzeko, man, again. Fateh, Dzeko been linked to Chelsea so many times, man. So many times. I
I
get
would love
tired.
to. I would love to let go of Dzeko because, my God, he's so slow.
He's no Giroud. He's no Giroud.
He's no
I'd
Giroud.
rather
Yeah,
have Giroud back, to be very
yeah.
honest. But yeah, even Hazard come back. As much as I would say, I won't want Chelsea to win, to kind of bid for him. But again, अगर वो change करे mind of he comes, why not, man? He's one of us. Certainly, I believe in that. And yes, yeah, Rajesh, you've got the correct comment. Let's get to 100 likes before we wrap up the stream. Great win for Roma. Happy for Jose, of course, and commiserations to Feyenoord as well. Like I must say, Feyenoord even getting to this Conference League final is a huge step forward for Dutch football in general. I know Ajax in recent times has done really good, but the fact is, apart from Ajax, PSV and Feyenoord Fateh have fallen off the cliff. It's really
PSV. Yeah,
great,
absolutely. I mean,
and PSV also अच्छा की थी. I
yeah,
think in Europe this season.
yeah, and they're just coming back. Like there's so many talented young players that always come from the Dutch league, but then they always lose them too early. These days, like earlier on, it used to be that a player would be 22, 23 when he'd go. The Zlatans, the Snyder, that generation. Today they are 18, 19, and they're already going. So I think yeah, Dutch teams have suffered, but yeah, PSV. Remember Gus Hiddink, another one of those great Chelsea stories, Gus Hiddink. So. Did very well with PSV. So I think yeah, let's hope that see. Look, the Conference League was brought in so that these smaller leagues, like the Dutch league, could have their representatives, and it's worked out. I mean, yes, I get it. An Italian team has won it, but if there was no Mourinho at Roma, they would never have won this. Like I'm absolutely
Yeah.
101% convinced of that. The Roman mentality, the choking in Europe. Today, the Mourinho mentality, the monster mentality that Mourinho has, he has sort of overpowered the way Roma's history is played and first European
Mhm.
trophy. But yeah, I think Conference League has been fun. Watching it has been fun. Lots of new names: Bodo Glimt, Feyenoord. Like we said, Mura beating Spurs. So I mean, these new names, and I'm looking forward to a very good next season also in the Conference League.
Yeah. अच्छा एक चीज मैं यहाँ पर क्विकली एड्रेस करना चाहूंगा. आई नो इट्स रियली लेट इन नाइट, ऑलमोस्ट 3, एंड होपफुली वी विल बी एंडिंग जस्ट बिफोर 3. दैट्स इन इंडिया. पीपल जो ज्वाइन करते हैं ना, थोड़े से, हाँ आई नो सर्टेन कमेंट्स यू माइट नॉट अग्री विद, बी द पैनल और बी द चैट. डोंट टेक योर रॉथ ऑन द स्ट्रीम ऑन द चैनल. एक रिक्वेस्ट है, ठीक है, क्योंकि मैं देखता हूँ काफी बार ना कुछ नेगेटिव कमेंट्स आते हैं ऑन द पैनल और द चैट. ओके, इट माइट बी दैट जस्ट दैट वन मोमेंट. एंड अगेन मैं मे बी लाइफ लेसन दे रहा हूँ. डोंट जज एनीवन और एनीथिंग जस्ट बाय वन मोमेंट, सिंपली पुट, राइट. तो आप देखो, वी हैव डन अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क ओवर द लास्ट ईयर. मैं यहाँ पर देख रहा हूँ द लाइक्स हैव गॉन लेस बाय 2, which is quite kind of clear, and same with the subscriptions. So people, again, lot of people have joined. यहाँ पर मैं देख रहा हूँ reply to the earlier comment जो जंकी ने किया है. तो जंकी, firstly I'm hoping that you have subscribed to both our channels. The fact that आप आ रहे हो, I'm pretty sure it's pretty late in the night where you are, but again, big up to you for taking the time to come. Of course, we are having a lot of discussions. आप अगर disagree करते हो, you are having 100% right to give your answer back. But again, there's a thin line between crossing the line, which probably one of the two parties in this case has not understood. But again, big up for you. And then you need to kind of get it that what हमारे charts कैसे किस ढंग से होते हैं. You'll probably like it the way we discuss about things, but give it time. Don't judge it in a second because आप आ रहे हो तो I'm guessing that you are attracted to this and that's why you're coming. तो आप आ रहे हो तो come on, let's like the stream and press the subscribe button. Do not forget and that bell notification icon, because yes, there's a lot of content on both our channels as well as Shrey FC. Got to give it to Jose. Diego Cepales, thank you for coming on. He still has a hunger for more European Cups. Yes, and I'm seeing a lot of people joining in now, so that makes me kind of extend the stream by just 5 more minutes if the panel is okay with it. Otherwise, let me know. Hey bro, we'll see you on Champions League night, Hala Madrid. Absolutely. And by the way, yes, talking about that, do not forget, because there are people joining, I'm live here literally every day this week in the evening. So do check our postings, guys. Don't be petty, yaar. No one hates any club. Everyone has a favorite club. Doesn't mean we should undermine others. Exactly, man. Rajesh understands this perfectly. भाई यहाँ पर गोल दिखा रहे वापस. What a pass, man. Mancini, that was like, मतलब again, I won't be biased, but to just give you an example, अगर सेम बॉल ट्रेंट खेलता, मतलब नथिंग अगेंस्ट लिवरपूल फैंस यार, पहले डिस्क्लेमर देता हूँ, ट्रस्ट मी, मे बी मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 100 नंबर ऑफ ट्वीट्स आते ट्विटर पे, ठीक है, ये वाला पता नहीं कितना आएंगे. क्या बोलते हो फतेह? मतलब is it something that because the Serie A these recent years is not getting the publicity, is something that as content creators it is part of our job to also kind of just make people understand what is different, what is still there. Euros was a classical example. I know Italy didn't do well in the recent qualifiers, but Euros was a classical example.
But yeah, absolutely. Like, see, even if Italy doesn't have the money, even if it will struggle, the talent will always be there. Like, you can never write off an Italian team if you're playing against them. You'll never be able to write off the Italian national team. They haven't played this World Cup. Don't be surprised if the next World Cup, the finalist is Italy. Like, that's just the way Italy always is. I mean, there's so much talent in the league. Like, look at Zaniolo, 2 ACLs torn. I think he's 22, 23. And he scored. He's put his name in the history books with a goal. So I mean, there's always going to be talent, and I think language plays a part. For example, when we talk about the EPL, we are Indians. We get the language, so it's very popular here in Asia. But if you go to the Middle East, North Africa, you'll see a lot of Serie A coverage, and because it's that old school, that the traditions, and so I think yeah, I mean that's the way it always has been. So I think with us, with the language that we have always been pro EPL. But I don't think there's anything wrong in it. It's a global sport, and if the Super League comes in, everything is going to go out of the. I mean, countries won't matter, and I think that will.
Basically, you have kind of given up to the fact that eventually to hona hi hai wo.
I think so. I think in the next 10 years, that will come. Like,
that's where we are. In behind, I'll come to your question as well. Big up to in behind, by the way. यहाँ पर मैं Premier League question है, तो यहाँ पर मैं श्रेय को लाना चाहूँगा quickly. Rank the following, Shrey. Come on, let's do it.
Oh my God, that's a tough one. But for me, I will still put, people will be surprised, but I think Graham Potter for me will be number one among this, because he has done miracles with Brighton. I think Denny Welbeck, Neil Maupay, that's, if he has some, you see his end form. Brighton have beaten Arsenal, they have beaten United, they have beaten Tottenham, they have beaten West Ham. They have 13 points from the last 5 games. That's incredible. For me, the second one on this list will be Eddie Howe, for the way he has done it with Newcastle, where they were. And Newcastle, the team that used to play boring football under Steve Bruce, dinosaur football, are now one of the most beautiful team in the league to watch. And I think number 3 has to be Thomas Frank. Like, he has done incredibly well. I think with Patrick Vieira, I'll put in the last one, because still he's very inexperienced in this category. It's just 1 year. It can all fall apart as well. So I think we have to see him next year before we make some assumption, because Palace have done incredibly well. But यही है कि नेक्स्ट ईयर में देखना पड़ेगा कि क्या कि गिर ना जाए पैलेस. गैलेगर भी जा रहा है लोन पे, फिर से मिलने नहीं वाला, तो वीरे कैसे कोप करेगा. बट ये सारे अच्छे मैनेजर्स हैं, ये शो करता है प्रीमियर लीग में कितना टैलेंट है मैनेजर्स का. हैज मच एज मैं कहूंगा इटली, सीरिया एंड प्रीमियर लीग में, सीरिया में मोर टैक्टिकल मैनेजर्स है, पर प्रीमियर लीग में हाइप ज्यादा है. एंड आई थिंक क्योंकि इतना वर्ल्ड वॉच करता है, तो बैटल देखने में अच्छा लगता है.
Talking about hype, Fateh, Smalling has become a hero, man, tonight for Roma. He defended.
Smalling has, see, I think he has his faults. There have been games even in Serie A where you can just pinpoint the Smalling mistake and say, well, that's where they lost it. But I think he's a defender who does well in the 3-man defense. If you put him in a 4-man defense, it's suicide. But in a 3-man defense, it works.
The moment you said that, let me put it there. Again, Man United fans, आप बोलिए भाई. It's a great point. It's a fantastic point, in fact. मतलब again, you might think मैं पागल हूँ बोलते. Just imagine Maguire left centre back, Smalling centre back, and Phil Jones right centre back. Just imagine. It can actually work. Trust me, it can work. I'm real in that. It can work. If you have a decent goalkeeper, I think that's a good defense. I'm just putting it out there. But again, big up, yeah, Junkie. Again, I saw your message. Koi nahi. I think Nkuku should be looked for one season, cause one more season. Okay. I think, see, getting a player of the year at maybe in Augsburg, what Baba Rahman was, I think he was one of the upcoming stars of the and we did that mistake. I get what football cricket is saying. Lekin bhai, you have been rated above Lewandowski technically in the Bundesliga. Think about it. फुटबॉल क्रिक्स और वही नहीं हम चैंपियंस लीग में देखे व्हाट क्रिस्टोफर इंकुकू ने किया है इवन इन द यूरोपा लीग लाइक आर्गुएबली ये लाइप्जिग ने हगा है और दे शुड हैव वन दैट सेमीज लाइक I felt Leipzig were the favorites, you know, in the Europa League once Barca were out. I really did. Lekin again, it's cup competition, anything can happen. So I think Nkuku, for some strange reason, people are very skeptical, maybe because of German football. लेकिन वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, अगर यही चीज बिग नेम लाइक द लेवेंडोव्स्की ने इतना गोल्स करा होता और वही एक प्लेयर ऑफ द सीजन अगेन लेता इन बुंडेसलीगा, I think people would have said that this is one more crown in his, beautiful career. Why not celebrate Nkuku? Just think about it. Technically, he has been voted above Gnabry, above Lewandowski, above Leroy Sané, and the likes. Muller, name them. Just name them. Talk about Kimmich and whatnot. Like I'm just putting it out there. So I think again, my reason why I have been following Nkuku for a while, and I think he can fit in really good, well in a club like Chelsea. I really do. But again, I might be wrong. Was Timo Werner at Leipzig before Timo Werner was Timo Werner at Leipzig? I exactly get what you're saying, Devish. But पता नहीं यार मतलब the guy has improved. Like Rafael Leao, I think Rafael Leao as an example. Fateh will add to it. Rafael Leao, what was he last season? हम बोल नहीं रहे थे कि यार the guy needs to be a much better finisher, very very raw. इतने सारे मिले opportunities. इस season में the way he has risen, oh my god. The people
absolutely.
होते हैं.
I mean, I think and there were rumors that Real Madrid are willing to pay 100 million for Leao or something like that. Okay, they're just rumors. He's not going to leave just yet.
फिर भी he's in the conversation.
The growth that he has shown this year. But again, is it the system that works for him? Because what he has been able to do is just use his power and his speed, and that physical, that thing where no defender has been able to mark him. Let's see what happens next year, because teams will now go specially with the idea of taking Leao out of the game. So once that starts happening, can the player adjust? Let's see what happens next year.
Cool. चलो यार, with that let's wrap up. I know काफी questions भी थे. Hopefully हमने काफी question ले लिए, but यार जाते जाते 30 लोग हैं स्ट्रीम पे अभी बने हुए. So thank you भाई. 3 बजे के पास है हम in India. Still we are having, I know many people are in India, many people are watching internationally. लेकिन thank you for joining. And I'm hoping that everyone here has not only subscribed to Almighty Blues FC, which you're watching, but also Almighty Sports Plus, which is our second channel. You'll get a lot of football content there as well. And of course to Shrey FC, who has been tagged, that I've been going on and on about, but I'm hoping aap karo or it'll mean a lot to me. Of course Fateh will be back. Fateh, where can people find you? Are you opening a channel? Because बहुत लोग मुझे पूछ रहे हैं यार. Come on.
I'm not opening a channel, but they can always find me at your channel.
Yeah, absolutely. और by the way, we are live. फतेह के साथ मतलब हमने काफी सारा चीज promise तो किया है in the previous few watch-alongs, but hopefully we'll do some historical series together. We really need to get on doing that. Maybe a Jose Mourinho, maybe the Milan days, both Inter Milan, Milan, maybe a Chelsea, because both kind of feel it. And obviously Shrey is invited as always. Like, I think again, people, we are live for the Champions League preview. I will just be reconfirming panel के साथ, इसलिए मैंने publish नहीं किया अभी तक, लेकिन time mostly 7 साढ़े 7 बजे रहेगा कल. And then we have a Friday का, of course, RCB. Just to remind people, one last time, it is basically a day for RCB, just if you can make out. So yes, we had a great victory. Believe in Virat is what मैं बोलूँगा. Again, only football fans, sorry भाई. सोचो यार, मैं बहुत सारा pain दिया हूँ RCB के साथ, and playoffs में we don't do generally so well. And again, big up to Shrey. Shrey has backed us. Big up to Sports Kappa who has backed us. Certainly, लेकिन भाई Shrey, any final words? Where can people find you? And of course, about Mourinho, anything that you would like to share, or about the Chapter 3 coming up?
I think you can find me at Shrey FC, and overall today I think has been a great day. I think first of all with the panel, it's been amazing to discuss football, and with the chat, and also I think Jose Mourinho, inevitably everybody knew he was going to win, and watching Jose Mourinho celebrating, I think especially when Mkhitaryan coming off and he was having the reaction, I think Jose Mourinho is gold and he will forever be the legend, the best manager in the world in some way when it comes to entertainment. And without Jose, for me, football is boring.
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल चलो उसी नाम पे यार जोसे मोरिन्यो के नाम पर come on the legend the manager he is and not just that of course just for European football and into the transfer market and Champions League final let's like the stream let's hit that subscribe button अगर नहीं किया है और remind yourself we are live later tonight till next time take care चलो see you good night everyone